You're welcome. I should say thank you. Cloud Dance smell speech, the corner of the mouth slightly a hook, raised a touch of a slightly profound smile. Could anyone who could see that there was an external force hidden in her body that did not belong to her defeat those orcs? However, Cloud Dance is not saying anything. For the next 2 days, Yunwu has been learning about Shacheng. It turns out that this sand city is just one of the cities on the top of the desert. There are 10 cities on the top of the desert. They are distributed in 10 directions on the top of the desert. It seems that they are independent, but as far as she knows, the owners of the 10 cities are the same person. She also inquired about the master of 10 cities, but she got nothing. Everyone on the top of the desert knew that there was such a man, but no one knew his whereabouts, let alone met him. Cloud Dance a smile. It seems that he is a powerful mysterious man who can build 10 cities on the top of the desert where the evil men gather and manage them in such a regular way. In the inn, Yunwu takes out the magic grass Left League gave her from the space. Murmured, "It's all up to you." Then he put it in his mouth and chewed it. I thought it would have some strange smell. Who knows that after chewing it in my mouth for a few times, the magic grass melted like ice, turned into a pool of liquid, and directly slipped into her throat. Cloud Dance can't help frowning. However, without waiting for her to think about it, she felt a warm current in her body, and began to implant it into the dantian. The unsteady breath in her body was gradually stable. It's just an instant, right? Isn't that exaggerating? However, when Yunwu tried to test her internal injury, she really felt the pain and everything disappeared. Moreover, it seemed that the pressure of suppressing her power was gradually fading away. What's going on? Is that magic grass not only useful for healing, but also for relieving the strange force of oppression in her body? Yunwu can't help but feel frightened. The healing effect of magic grass is too powerful. The next morning, Cloud Dance wake up. The first time is to check their own situation. However, after investigation, I was surprised. I found that my injury was not only healed, but also the original pressure disappeared and the strength recovered. Yunwu could feel that the power of the evil phage in her body was digesting the elements of the evil grass, and the evil phage was increasing. But strangely, after the power of the evil phage in her body increased, not only did she not lose control, but she felt that the evil phage was easier to control. The magic grass in healing her internal injury at the same time, can gradually tame the evil bite? Is that so? Cloud Dance is frightened. What kind of special medicinal material is this magic herb? How can it have such strange healing ability? What's the reaction between magic bite and magic grass? Why can magic bite increase by swallowing magic grass? All doubts, Cloud Dance seems to have no answer. Even if asked Black Proud also cannot its solution. In the end, Yunwu really didn't understand, so he was too lazy to think about it. Anyway, the current situation doesn't seem to do her any harm. On the contrary, after seeing the strange ability of magic grass, Yunwu can't help thinking of looking for some magic grass for a rainy day. After a night's cure, Yunwu's wound is almost good. Looking out of the window, it's already dawn. The cloud dances between eyebrows to stretch to open. Unexpectedly the wound on the body is already good, that also should get up to look for Long Qingxie and so on. Just after Yunwu went down the 3rd floor, she accidentally met Zhuo Meng, who was talking with others in the corner of the 1st floor. Zhuo Meng also seemed to see her. Cloud Dance glanced at the left leg, thought for a moment, turned and sat down on an empty seat. After a while, Zhuo Meng came over. Is the girl leaving? Left Alliance, looking at Cloud Dance's complexion already good, probably guessed that she this time will leave. Yunwu took a cup, sipped and nodded, there's something to deal with. Then put down the cup, looking at the left leg, seems unintentionally asked, you give me the magic grass is very effective, do not know where to buy. This magic grass is extremely precious. If ordinary people can't get it, money can buy it. The left leg is laughing. Cloud Dance heard the corner of the mouth slightly a hook, so this magic grass is natural growth. Can you tell me how to get it? Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrows. Zhuo Meng smiles and looks at Yunwu with sharp eyes. You'd better stay in Shacheng for a few days and leave. Tomorrow is the 15th day. On the top of the desert, every 15th day will be the most dangerous day. No matter you are outside or in the city, you have to face the invasion of hordes of beasts. The Left League deliberately ignored the problem of Cloud Dance. Cloud Dance also didn't continue to ask, originally also just want to try, he is willing to say, since it's inconvenient to say, she won't force others. As long as you know the specific source of the magic grass, you will not be afraid to find it. At least now you know that the magic grass he gave her grows naturally rather than raised by human beings. Of course, Hyo said that magic grass grows in the wild desert. But the Left League caravan and those evil people walking on the top of the desert, who can pick a few good luck, is also possible. Can you ask how long it will take to get to the nearest city to the west? On the top of the desert, every animal tied on the 15th, the Cloud Dance has been heard in the past 2 days. It's hard to deal with a group of desert beasts alone, let alone all of them. The momentum must be extremely frightening. However, it seems that it's none of her business. The nearest city also needs 2 days' journey. When the tide of 15 animals comes, desert animals will come out to look for food during the day, so no one will come in and out of the top of the desert. 2 days' journey. In other words, if she left now, she would not be able to get to the next city before dark, and she would inevitably encounter a tide of beasts. Yunwu frowned slightly. It seems that she will stay for a few days. After thinking for a long time, her slightly wrinkled forehead finally stretched out. The evil dragon Meng Bai and red fire dragon are absolutely equal in strength. They should be able to protect themselves. Maybe they are looking for her now. She should have confidence in the 3 of them. Why worry so much? If she can't get out of the city, she can only find such a reason to convince herself. I'll trouble you for a few days. Don't bother, girl. Just rest assured. After Zhuo Meng left, Yunwu walked around the city to see if he could find the magic grass. As the 15th day approached, there were many people in the city, but this time it was much more peaceful than before, and nothing unpleasant happened. Yunwu found that almost everyone in the city was busy with their own business. The desolate streets were now full of hawkers, which surprised her a little. See? She's the one brought by Commander Zhuo himself. She's been living for several days. That's her. I haven't paid any labor after living for a few days. It's too obvious. I didn't expect that the left commander would also play favoritism. Yunwu is walking on the street, listening to the gossip of the people on the stall, frowning, and looking a little condensed. Do you need to pay any labor to live in the city? In a quiet street, Yunwu looked around and focused on an old man who was making baskets. The old man looks like he is in his 70s, but he is still working. Yunwu walked up to the master, looked at the delicate baskets and said, "Uncle, do people who live in the city need to work?" The old man took a look at Yunwu, but he was stunned for a moment. The old man looks like he's in his 70s. It's strange that his eyes are so penetrating and sharp. Girl, except for those who stay overnight, they don't have to work. People who live in the city have to work. Otherwise, they will be misunderstood by others. Gossip is the most terrible thing. The old man looked at the Cloud Dance with a smile. There were some other colors in the smile, as if he knew her. Do we know each other? Cloud Dance looked at the old man's eyes, some uncomfortable. That smile really makes people feel a little repellent. The old man, with a wispy beard and a hearty smile, "You don't know me, but I know you. I've been in the city for several days, and I haven't worked hard. The whole people in Shacheng know you." Smell speech, Cloud Dance complexion a black. The whole Shacheng people know her. Just because you didn't work. Is Zhuo Meng helping her or harming her? Knowing the rules of the city, Yunwu left. On the way to leave, naturally, there were more criticisms. Those people also said that there was no profiteering incident. Most of the people driven out by the families are violent and seldom obey the discipline, but they can take the initiative to work in the Sand City. It seems that everyone respects the rules of Shacheng, and she has slightly changed her view of those people. Do you plan to stay in the city for a few more days without paying labor? Such people should have been expelled from the city long ago. Is it because he is a woman? Ha ha ha. The crowd burst into laughter. Cloud Dance is walking in the street, hearing these words, suddenly stops, cold eyes scan everyone. I don't know whether she was shocked by the chill in her eyes or something. People stopped laughing one after another, and the whole street fell into silence. Also angry, this is everyone's rule, why don't you abide by it? A porridge man threw his spoon on the ground with a clang. Cloud Dance glanced at the man, looked back, turned to him. When you knew this rule, was it someone else who told you? The man shook his head. What's wrong? How do you know? Cloud Dance continues to ask away. By chance. So it was also discussed by others, wasn't it? Yunwu disdains to smile. Damn, are you finished? Do you still have reason? When the man was mentioned by Yunwu and couldn't bear the past, he suddenly got angry and embarrassed. Cloud Dance snigger, at the beginning of he should be worse than her. I'm just telling you that people who come to Shacheng for the first time don't know the rules here. Please kindly remind them instead of gossiping here. Cloud Dance looked at the man again and sneered, just like you were slandered by those rumors, now you still can't face it. Don't you sell your porridge? Cloud Dance interrupts his words, Yang lips a smile, ignore the crowd to look at the surprised eyes, turned and left. Just as Yunwu left, suddenly something similar to a hedgehog appeared at his feet. It's just that the thorn on the body is much sharper than that of a hedgehog, as if it can wear out shoes. The cloud dances the corner of the mouth to raise the radiant of a sneer. Yu Guang glanced at that hedgehog warcraft, as if didn't discover the same, walking quietly. The hedgehog appeared on the left. Although it was very fast, she found it. Cloud Dance looked to the left and found that there was only one man who was juggling. He explored with his mental strength. The man's strength was in the middle of Wuzuan period, and the speed was just right. It's him. The radiant of Cloud Dance's sneer is more enlarged and colder. Just as she stepped on the hedgehog's body, a cry of pain kept wandering in the street. Waiting to see the Cloud Dance out of embarrassment of the public, heard this scream, look instantly jubilant leap. But the next second, the smile is stiff in the face, the expression is a little distorted. Cloud Dance, as if nothing had happened with a sneer through the crowd, disappeared in the crowd. Just now, the acrobatic man is curling on the ground in pain. Not far away, there is a hedgehog with thorns lying there. The hedgehog's thorns have been dyed red. Lying on the ground, he looks at the man innocently, as if to say, it's none of my business. The whole street was still quiet, and people looked at the direction of Cloud Dance leaving, looking at each other. What happened at that moment? They saw her step on it. When was the hedgehog removed? If she can step on the moment, under the gaze of all the hedgehog will move, then the strength must be above all of them. Is that really her strength? Or is it a coincidence? Who on earth is that woman? At the moment, this is the doubt in everyone's heart. After leaving the street, Yunwu went straight back to the inn. If you are right, what should Zhuoming discuss with others in the inn now? If not, Yunwu just stepped into the inn and saw the figure of Zhuoming. Because it was nearly 15 years old, the inn was full, and the table was full. When people saw her walking into the inn, the focus of the discussion was on her. Naturally, the content was still about her living in the city for a few days without any work. Cloud Dance slightly frowned. To these discussions have been impatient, people here are all fucking pig brain, isn't it? Left League heard someone talking about Cloud Dance, raised his eyes to see the Cloud Dance standing in front of the door. Then an extremely sharp eyes swept to the crowd, and they immediately shut up. Cloud Dance looked at the more disdainful eyes of the people and sighed helplessly. Didn't he cater to their ideas more? The leader of the Left League favoritism at this time, Zhuoming, had already got up and came to Yunwu, and said with a smile, what can I do for you, girl? Commander Zhua, I just heard that people living in the city need to work. Please get me a position. Looking at Zhua Meng, I don't know if it's intentional. Her voice is not big or small, but it just spreads into everyone's ears. What they said, the girl could. Commander left, I don't want to be special. Can you understand? Cloud Dance interrupts him, how can you not understand what the old fox is thinking? Zhua Meng lowered his head and thought for a while. His eyes were deep. At the moment of lifting his eyes, he regained his smiling face. Well, I don't know what you want to do. Cloud Dance eyes color flow, ponder a moment way, I see other things seem to have a lot of people doing, otherwise, I do guard it. As soon as her voice fell, the laughter in the inn started to ring. Are you a city guard? I'm afraid I'll be scared by the desert beast to pee in my pants, right? Look at your frail little physique. Can you stand the toss? Ha ha ha. With these words, the laughter of Zhongshan in the inn immediately became obscene. Hearing this kind of person's sarcasm and slander, Yunwu's face darkened, and her killing intention also increased a lot. Is she here to make fun for others? But in the face of the left league, she resisted the factor of violence. She looked at Zhua Meng, as if to tell her that if they don't shut up, she doesn't mind breaking the rules of Shacheng, let alone how many bodyguards to drive her away. In a word, 1 for 1, 2 for a pair. Left league by Cloud Dance warning eyes, face dark, looking back low a roar, is not all want to leave Shacheng? Yes, the laughter stopped. The silence of the in Cloud Dance sneers. Where is the ability of Nyocha just now? Don't care what they say. You can't change your nature. Just now you said to be a city guard. I promised you to go to the city tower. Zhua Meng looks at Yunwu with great respect. Cloud Dance sneers, this old fox let her stay at the beginning, 80% is to let her help deal with tomorrow's animal tide. Her strength has never been seen before, but he can see it clearly. And the idea of Cloud Dance is also expected by the left league clear, know that Shidu Garrison is to facilitate the search for magic grass. His purpose is to let her guard the city, her purpose is to make it easy to get in and out, where can go to find the identity of magic grass, guard the city just to meet each other's purpose, why not? With the consent of the left league, Yunwu went to the city tower to report. At the moment, fortifications are being strengthened at the city tower. Almost all the guards are busy carrying sandbags and stones. It seems that they are preparing for the attack of damp. In this scene, Yunwu has some curiosity about desert animals. When I came to the top of the desert, I didn't really see the desert beast. Seeing that all the people in the Sand City are so strict, she wants to see the power of desert beast more and more. At the tower, Shi Qingwei was a little surprised to see Yunwu reporting. In all these years, he had never seen a woman to be a city guard. This woman Shi Qingwei looks at Yunwu, and his eyes are full of doubts and misgivings. He thinks that even if a woman has strength, she can't reach the qualification of Shi Qingwei, right? It's important to know that the work of guarding the city is very important, especially these days. We must prepare for the tide of animals. Can this woman do it? Don't look. I'm here to be a guard. Yunwu looks at the guard, looks at her eyes, frowns slightly, I really don't like this kind of eyes. I'm sorry. The guard found his gaffe and apologized immediately. These people were brought out by the left league in person, and naturally they would not be as sarcastic as those people. Well, you go to the city to inspect, don't let any fighting or indecent situation appear, if it appears, please let me know. Having said that, the guard gives Yunwu a piece of armor in his hand, which is the sign of the guard. People living in Shacheng will become more comfortable as long as they see this piece of armor. Cloud Dance took the armor and nodded to know that he saw that he was a woman, so she arranged some work that didn't need physical strength, and she also enjoyed it happily. Being able to walk around the city at will is her purpose as a city guard. However, it seems that the situation of indecent fighting does not need her to come out to solve it. But if you are not in a good mood, you can still take the opportunity to solve the problem of hand itching by the way. Of course, it depends on her mood. Yunwoo returns to the inn and puts on his armor. His momentum increases every second. I don't know what kind of metal the armor is made of. It's full of a cool silver light. It's very beautiful and cold. Even if an ordinary person wears this armor, it will be very domineering. Cloud Dance's mouth slightly yawn, seem quite satisfied. The armor of the city guard is really good. Put on this armor, Yunwoo will naturally go out for a walk and look around to see if there is anything she wants. However, when Yunwoo is wearing armor and walking in the crowd, it seems to be very eye-catching. No matter who passes by her, they will look at her more or less. It's not that I haven't seen the guard, but I haven't seen the female guard. In particular, this girl is still a small girl who looks like she is only a teenager. When did such a girl guard come to Shacheng? Is it too playful for such a girl to take the responsibility of guarding the city? Of course, for those people's heart changes, Yunwoo naturally does not care. However, Yunwoo seems to have some regrets. It seems that wearing this kind of armor is too high profile. On the contrary, it makes her want to find magic grass tied up. Half a walk. Suddenly, a loud noise came from the crowd in the distance. Cloud Dance frowns slightly. Spirit explore the distance. I found that there were two people fighting in the crowd. It seemed that they were red-eyed. It was very fierce. If they didn't stop it, it would be a homicide case. Originally, Yunwoo was too lazy to pay attention and planned to take a detour, but here comes the guard. Just as Yunwoo was about to turn around and leave, I don't know who yelled. Brush. Everyone's eyes, all of a sudden, looked at her. Yunwoo's face turned black. But in the end, wearing the armor of the city guard, if she turned away like this, she would be ashamed again. At last, Cloud Dance ignored everyone's eyes and walked to the crowd with indifference. Just fight of two people one heart confronts, didn't hear that person's remind, still continue to fight. Brother, stop it now. I don't see anything. Cloud Dance lightly said a sentence. What's your business? Go away. Two roars and a word, followed by two hook fists to wave to the cloud. Suck. Many people present took a breath when they saw the scene. Is this the rhythm of starting to play the city guard? I want to fight the city guard. Cloud Dance looked at the two fists close at hand, and her eyes cooled a little. What a nuisance. People who had been watching the scene changed their faces. Someone tried to stop it, but it was a step too late. No one could stop the two hook fists, and they directly hit Yunwoo. At this time, everyone was thinking that the fist, the woman's guard, was doomed. The two men must be finished. The two men's fists with all their strength seemed to react instantly when they touched her armor. They turned pale and sweated all over, but they couldn't stop it. I don't want to die yet. One of them cried bitterly with his eyes closed. Smell speech, Cloud Dance, eye color instantly sink. At the moment, the fist has come to her face, with the strength of the fist against the wind, several strands of broken hair in front of her forehead are constantly fluttering. However, just a second before the fist hit her, Yunwoo's palm is moving, ready to move. But at this moment, in mid-air, suddenly appeared a touch of void power, directly hit two people. Ah! There was a scream. Scream of the same second, people only see two shadow fly out, speed. Suck. There was another pour of air. Those two men are experts of Wuzuan level. Was it just blown away? Yunwoo looks at the two people who have fallen into the thatched cottage in the distance and looks back at the crowd as if they are looking for someone. Just now, she just wanted to do it, but she was shot one step earlier. Therefore, the two men's hollow blow in the abdomen was not from her. But looking at the embarrassed two, a sneer appeared in the corner of her mouth. Wuzuan. It seems that Wuzuan's strength is not very useful in this place. Look at the two. Cloud Dance helplessly shook his head. When people saw this scene, they were surprised with their mouths open and their eyes tongue-tied. Everyone thought that this blow could not escape. No one thought that this seemingly weak female guard had escaped. This woman, as they all know, is famous in Shacheng. Who did you think was the Leftist League? She has been sheltered by the Leftist League. Now, how can you feel like she is sheltering the Leftist League? It turns out that she is so powerful. Thank you, my friend. Cloud danced towards the crowd as polite a body, turned away. It turns out that she didn't do it just now. I said how she can have that ability, is not a man to eat. Yunwu listened to the sarcasm behind her, and the radiance of her mouth was deeper. As for the man who just shot, it seems that he didn't intend to show up. This farce ends like this. Day and night alternated, and soon the 15th day came. Yunwu has been looking for the magic grass in the city for 2 consecutive days as a city guard, but he has not found any news about it. It seems that the magic grass is not easy to find. Today is the time for the animal tide, but I don't think the weather is right today. What's wrong? How can I see a storm coming? Go, shut your crow's mouth. In a sparsely populated temple, Yunwu heard the conversation between the 2 people. By this time, it was a little dark. Cloud Dance raised her eyes and looked at the sky. The sky was a bit dark and turbid at the moment, which was really like the precursor of a storm. But on the top of the desert, what storm is there? It seems impossible. I don't know what happened to my brothers in the evil city. Damn it, if it hadn't been for the sudden appearance of the border a few days ago, could my brothers have suffered such serious injuries? One of them was angry. Just as Yunwu was about to leave, she suddenly stopped when she heard the man's words. A few days ago, the border suddenly appeared strange. Cloud Dance pupil eyes tiny eyes reveal a trace of cold, is it their transmission array? Don't complain. If you hadn't cut a hole in that strange force, my brothers would have died long ago. The other followed his words. Well, the past is the past, and don't mention it. The walls have ears. If someone knows that our brothers are trying to break the border and leave, no one will want to live. Cloud Dance listens to the conversation of 2 people, the breath of all around instantly cold many. Is it not because the transmission array failed, but because it was artificially damaged? Pondering for a moment, Yunwu shakes his head. Although the opening of the transmission array will make the transmission array out of balance, she obviously feels that the pressure of the boundary will cut off the transmission array. Besides, with the strength of the man in front of him, it's not fatal to damage the teleportation array to cut through the border. You can really come up with that bad idea. If you didn't break through the border by force, how could the pressure of the border suddenly increase and make the brothers almost die in the border? It turns out that breaking through the border by force will suddenly increase the pressure. In this way, the border suddenly appears abnormal pressure. Is it really caused by the man in front of you? Cloud Dance's face, in this moment completely cold sink. If it wasn't for this person, she would have fallen in love with the dragon. They would have been safe in the dragon clan. If it wasn't for him, she wouldn't be hurt so badly, and she wouldn't fall in love with the dragon. They would be lost and worried about their life and death. All this is because of the man inside. If there is an accident between them, the Cloud dances around, the killing intention rises, the eye color is bloodthirsty. Even if only for this reason, they will die. Bang! The broken door of the broken temple, which was full of wind, was kicked to pieces. This loud noise frightened 2 people who were baking in the broken temple. Hearing the loud noise, their hearts beat slowly for half a beat. At the same time, they stood up and looked at the people outside the door. Who? One is humanity. Cloud Dance did not answer, with a cold intention to kill, step by step toward the 2. They looked at each other and knew that it was not good for them to come. They were on the alert. Their right hand could not help wiping the sword at their waist, and their left hand was ready to fight. Yunwu stopped 2 people 2 meters away. 2 people looking at Cloud Dance wear of a suit of armor, Malcolor all have some surprise. Isn't the guard supposed to be in the castle now? Why are you here? However, when the 2 of them raised their eyes and touched the cold look of Cloud dancing, they were attracted by her cold and gorgeous face for a second. A very cold and beautiful woman. Son of a bitch, there are beauties in this Shacheng. It seems that they are still young. The man looked greedy at the cloud dance. But then, with a greedy look, he said, I don't know what's the matter with you two. After seeing that Chu Yunwu is a woman, they put down their vigilance slightly, and after seeing her beautiful face and young age, they completely put down their vigilance. Just such a petite little woman, even if she was wearing the city guard clothes, it didn't seem to be a big threat. Cloud Dance looks at the greed in that person's eyes, the corner of the mouth outlines a smile that is almost coquettish. That smile, just like the beauty of the plum blossom, see two people stay long for a few moments. But they don't know what's hidden behind the smile. Shwa. A touch of cold light swept through the air and disappeared in an instant. Poop. In front of Yunwu's eyes, the man fell to the ground, his eyes still reflected Yunwu's coquettish sneer and a trace of greed, and his mouth was still stiff with a trace of obscene smile. 1 second, 2 seconds. The bright red liquid from the man's neck on the ground began to flow out. It's like a fountain. His face also changed, the color of greed changed into shock and fear, and it will never change again. Who the hell are you? Seeing his companion killed, another man in a blue robe pulls out his sword and points to Yunwu. Naturally, his eyes are shocked. At that moment, he only felt the air flowing very fast. He didn't see how she did it. He was frightened, but he was easily seen by Yunwu. Yunwu glanced at him coldly, didn't answer, turned around and left. Kill him, do you think you can go? Shacheng is not allowed to kill people. What's more, you're still the city guard. The man in green roared and tried his best. Not just to scare Yunwu, but also to hope that someone will hear it. Cloud Dance's tiny squint, leave the pace stopped, looking back at the man, indifferent way, try to break through the border, leave the top of the desert, compared to this charge, you can afford it? Hearing this, the man's body suddenly trembled. The city guard will try to break through the border but fight against the captured people and kill them, can't he? The man's face changed slightly, and his hand with the sword trembled slightly. In order to keep calm, he had to drop the sword. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh. Cloud Dance gives a cold smile. Then he glanced at him indifferently again, if that reason just now doesn't work, I'll kill him for another reason, because he should die and don't kill you, because you don't deserve it. If you want to avenge your dead brother, you'd better be aware of it. Yunwu turns around and disappears into the broken temple. Finally, don't try to talk to a guard about whether to kill people or not. She left, with a sense of killing and cold, but at this time the broken temple because of her words, more cold. Her cool voice hovered in the air, just like the voice of ghosts getting smaller and smaller. Clang. The sound of the long sword landing sounded in the broken temple. After leaving the temple, it was dark. Yunwu plans to go back to the inn. In fact, she didn't know if the guard could execute the damned people on her own. If not, it doesn't matter. On the top of the desert, everything is too normal. If the man is smart, he should hide his brother's body and leave after 15. The Cloud Dance's thin cool lip corner to hook up to put on bloodthirsty radiant. When she returned to the center of the city again, she found that there were few people in the bustling streets, only a few people were still walking, and the pace was extremely fast. Cloud Dance slightly frowned, quickly stepped forward to stop a person, people go to do. The man was stopped by Yunwu and was stunned. However, the man was puzzled when he heard the question of Yunwu and her armor. It will be dark soon, and the tide of beasts will come. That's humane. Is the animal tide coming? Smell speech, Cloud Dance to lift eyebrow, see sky color, distance really already dark come down. Today is 15, but after a while, she seems to forget at this time, everyone in the city should go to the wall just in case. Don't the guards even know that? After the man left, he glanced back at Yunwu and muttered. Looking at the gloomy sky and the empty street, there is a faint undercurrent in Yunwu's eyes. The tide of animals is coming. Has everyone gone to fight against it? Originally, Cloud Dance didn't want to participate in this situation. However, I don't know the difference between the animal tide on the top of the desert and what she saw in the upper boundary last time. Maybe we can go and have a look. Yunwoo thought of this and turned to walk towards the wall. Her present status is to guard the city. Even if she doesn't guard the city, it's better to show her face, so as not to be attacked by the population. Are you worried about being talked about now? In fact, she suffered less. I think it's funny. As the night falls, the whole Shacheng city is shrouded in a dark night. In the distance, there are dark clouds, which are constantly approaching the Shacheng city. It's the rhythm of the storm coming. Commander left, the sandbag protection is ready. It's safe, but if the weather goes on like this. A city guard looked at the dark clouds in the distant sky, and was anxious to say nothing. Left League looked at the night, nodded slightly. Lo Wei, let everyone prepare for the state. Yes, Shiqingwei shouts. Left League looking at the distance wind hit, sharp eyes some changes. Whether we can spend the night safely depends on whether the storm will come to Shacheng. However, if she comes, maybe the chance of victory will be bigger. How to say, he has seen her strange strength with his own eyes, and it is still under the condition that she has suffered extremely internal injury. At this moment, Yunwoo came to the city wall in armor. Above the city wall, there is a sea of people. All the people in Shacheng are here. There are about thousands of people. They all go down the wall in a row. Everyone seems to attach importance to it. But the attitude of each team seems to be very tacit. People I didn't know thought they were from some of the team's teammates. I never thought that these people were ferocious on weekdays. Cloud danced some unexpected tiny squint star eyes. If she can unite in the face of great calamity, should she recognize these people who are driven out of the country? Walking up the city wall, the clouds dance and look at the top of the desert far away from the city wall, deep in the eye. How terrible is the animal tide that can make everyone pay so much attention? She just heard about it, but she was looking forward to seeing it. If these people on the wall knew what she was thinking at the moment, they would treat her as a psychopath. For people who live on the top of the desert all the year round, the 15 animal tide every year is the last day they want to face. Let alone expect, every year's prayer is to hope that the desert animals can be extinct. Here comes the girl. The left league sees the figure of Cloud dance, cover the worried color inside eyes, smile Wei. The cloud dances slightly and the head droops. Is the girl here, too? Isn't that what he expected? Boom. However, without waiting for Yunwoo to say anything, the ground suddenly faintly sent out a shiver, with the roar of animals. It caught everyone's attention in a flash. None of the people present were ordinary people, and their faces became dignified. Here it is, everybody, get ready. Coming. The cloud dances, the eye color slightly narrows, a touch of cold light passes by. Does the animal tide? Slowly looked up, looking out of the city in the dark, in the distance, it seems that there are countless flashes of scarlet. Boom. The night shrouded the whole night, and the trembling from the earth became more and more intense, the scarlet flash came closer and closer, and a ferocious air filled the air from all directions. As if to cover the whole city. It was the first time that Yunwoo had encountered any animal tide on the top of the so-called desert. She seemed to understand why these ferocious people were so nervous and dignified. I'm afraid it will be far more than she has ever seen before. Bang! But at this moment, a flash of lightning struck through the sky. Boom! All of a sudden, the drizzle dripped down. Take advantage of the flash of lightning, everyone's breathing a stagnation. I saw that, under everyone's nervous eyes, the dense and endless scarlet beast eyes were close. And just under the lightning, also let everyone clearly see, those ferocious desert animals, even more than in previous years. Is it because of the heavy rain tonight? Forcing all the desert beasts out of the nest? In fact, on the 15th day of every year, desert beasts attack every city. Over the years, it may have formed a habit to come to the city purposefully every year, and this year is no exception. But now the wind is blowing and the rain is getting bigger and bigger. The temperature in the air seems to have cooled down a lot. Everyone is already wet. The rain color has blurred the sight and hazy the city. Everyone's face became more and more dignified, and their arms were clenched in their hands. I'm afraid it's hard to cope with the animal tide this year. Left League saw Cloud dance one eye, tone dignified many. The top of the desert rarely has the scene of storm, of course, it does not mean that there has been no. However, on the 15th day of the full moon, there are very few cases of rainstorm. The strong wind is whistling and the whirling rain is hitting the city wall. The stone sand in the cracks of the city wall is impacted by the whirling rain force of the strong wind, and there are signs of loosening and sliding. If it goes on like this, the wall will not be able to withstand the fierce attack of desert beasts. Damn it! Yunwoo looks at the quicksand under the city wall dripping with heavy rain and can't help frowning slightly. Tonight, this sand city seems not very good. Roar! There was a roar from the beast. In the next second, the speed of desert beast is more steady, through the hazy line of sight, more and more clear. At the moment, it seems that there is only the sound of the animals rushing. After half a ring. Under the city wall is the dense desert beast. These desert beasts can't be transformed into human beings, but they all have some spiritual wisdom. Therefore, they will choose to hibernate in the daytime, waiting for the arrival of the night. Especially in the full moon night, their bodies will be full of endless strength and hunger. As long as they are living creatures, their claws can easily tear them apart and devour them to fill the void. At this moment, there was a fierce roar all around. Roar! Isolated by the rain, Yunwoo put his eyes on the roaring beast, which was covered with brown fur and squatted on a stone like a king. At the moment, it is not instant with the cloud, eyes sharp bloodthirsty. Is that the king of the herd? Or is it the leader of this group of animals? As the saying goes, if you catch a thief, you catch the king first. Is that the truth for the herd? Howl! The king roared again. This sound was so arrogant that it turned a corner in the middle, as if it was challenging Yunwoo. Cloud Dance's mouth can't help but cold, she was provoked by a beast. That's interesting. At the roar of the king, the herd had reached the city wall and started a fierce attack. Boom! The endless dense desert beast suddenly attacked, targeted at the wall under the heavy rain. Roar! Standing on the wall, Cloud Dance seems to be able to feel the wall is shaking slightly. This herd is not only terrible in quantity, but also powerful. Quick, defend! The tide of beasts is too fierce. It's raining so hard that the wall won't hold up like this. Under the fierce roar of the beast, some flustered shouts came from the wall, echoing in the heavy rain night. Lift the eye to see the downpour, Cloud Dance's eyes a touch of undercurrent emerge. At present, it seems that the wall must be broken. Boom! There was a violent and terrifying crash of force. In the twinkling of an eye, all the people who have just panicked seem to understand the situation tonight, and they are ready for war. The fur color of desert animals is much darker than that of quicksand. In the dark and heavy rain night, they are full of extremely crazy and bloodthirsty light. The herds are constantly destroying the city wall. The quicksand in the stone crevice of the city wall is scattered faster. It is impacted by the rain and flows to the distance. Cloud Dance overlooking the herd, the fundus cannot help but flash a look of consternation. In fact, these desert beasts are only level 5 upper world warcraft. Depending on the situation, the wisdom and power of these level 5 desert beasts are estimated to be comparable to level 7 lower world warcraft. What is the definition? You don't have to think about it. Moreover, these desert beasts seem to be more crazy and bloodthirsty than lower world warcraft. For example, now, every warcraft has blood-red eyes, which are particularly dazzling in the dark. It can't be ignored. While destroying the city wall, it howls, and its eyes are fierce and bloodthirsty. The level 5 warcraft intelligence of the upper world is higher than that of the lower world. A group of desert beasts have arranged their teams and assigned their work in a regular order. They are attacking the city wall in an orderly way, separating the two sides and attacking the whole city wall. All of a sudden, the sand of the wall at the foot of Swimming League was flowing fiercely, and a crack became more and more serious. The desert beasts all around rushed forward immediately, and countless pairs of sharp and tough claws dug the crack bigger and bigger. At this moment, the whole Shacheng, no matter how it was burned, killed and looted, is now united, scattered, watching the desert beasts attack with vigilance, waiting for the last resort. The cloud dance sees this, the lip cape lifts a smile in the misty rain color, just like the lotus blooming. These people are famous for their heinous deeds. The unity at the moment is really incredible. However, I don't know why, it makes Yunwu feel inexplicable. On the contrary, those so-called open and aboveboard, elegant gentlemen, sometimes not as good as them. At least they are aboveboard in burning, killing and looting, while those who disguise themselves as elegant the cloud dances and the smile turns cold. Zhuo Meng looked at the loose sand under his feet, his face changed suddenly. The wall won't hold. A call came from somewhere. Let's all take a look. Boom. In front of everyone's eyes, the thick and rough wall began to collapse. What followed was the roar of the herd. The scattered herds were all reunited. They were coming towards the gap, irresistible. I can't carry it here. And here. The walls collapsed one after another. Bang! Jule also felt the crisis. In the middle of the night, it rained more and more. Everyone was washed with water, but no one noticed it. Whether we can stay here or not depends on whether we can defeat them today. Zhuo Meng roared at the people on the city wall. The sound was accompanied by lightning. The strength seemed more convincing. Don't worry, brothers, copy the guy. Protect our only home. You have to win. Attack. The roar of ambition, accompanied by all the people's fighting spirit, is pouring out like a rainstorm at this moment, jumping down the half-collapsed city wall and rushing to the dense animal tide. A knife cut a pair, one by one, extremely fierce cooperation, just like the general harvests straw into the tide of animals. However, for the seemingly endless tide of animals, it seems to be insignificant casualties. Therefore, when those people jump down one by one, they will soon be inundated by the huge tide of animals. This is a battlefield flushed with the smell of blood, and all that comes into our eyes are red with blood. Cloud danced looking at this scene, but the mind was just those people a word, to shock Zhengleng. Home? Is this their home? Looking at the people who keep jumping down the wall, Yunwu's eyes are a little complicated. Her goal is the dragon nationality. It's a last resort for her to come to Shacheng. She doesn't want to get involved in right and wrong. When she came here tonight, she just wanted to see the desert beast. She didn't plan to do it, but now a home touched her heart long lost soft. The storm poured down with gusts of wind. Lifting the clothes of those who were fighting under the wall, she felt so tall at the moment. Bang! The fierce fighting spirit attacks the sword and attacks those ferocious desert beasts. Even under the heavy rain, the blood scarlet seems to be unable to hide, blood red full and open. The roar, the attack and the scream of the beast are very clear in this rainy night. Commander left, the strength of the desert beast is twice as strong as usual. Some of my brothers have already seen blood. If we go on like this, we will die. As long as the desert beast sees blood, it will never die. The left leg hears the words, the moment of absence, the left arm was a desert beast claw cut a bloody mouth, the blood was impacted by the rain, showing a slightly white wound. Cloud Dance looked at the scene under the city wall, and finally frowned. The dragon people, the phoenix people, the orcs, the city guards, almost all of them are decorated. Don't think about anything tonight unless you step over the body of my left leg. A roar of fury from all over the sky overcame the sound of thunder and lightning. It was very powerful. Suddenly, a fierce desert beast, as if to understand his words in general, crazy toward him. Zhuo Meng's backhand cleaver killed him with one blow. Then there was the second one, the third one, and even more. Everyone has no strength, the heavy rain washed the blood left by everyone except the ragged clothes is a pale to bloodless face. However, their backs are still unyielding. The 10 evil people who were once driven out by their own family are now fighting for another family. Are they really heinous? Cloud Dance looked at their fighting figure, questioning. As time goes by, desert beasts are decreasing and their physical strength is overdrawn. Shacheng, I'm afraid I can't protect you today. Zhuo Meng fell into the desert and gave a weak low roar. Not far away, a desert beast rose from the sky, bared its tusks and claws, and came straight at him. Suddenly, the left leg looked at the dark air, slightly stunned. I saw a pale moon came out, the wind stopped suddenly, the rain also seems to be a lot smaller. The people who were fighting seemed to have stopped for a second because of the strange celestial phenomena, but they soon reacted and started fighting again. Just the sky is strange. At this moment, others really do not have too much thought to think. But in the next second, shwa! A big knife burning with black flame cuts through the sky and revolves to attack the desert beast attacking Zhuo Meng. When the knife comes out, the blood splashes in the desert. Then, a figure in a purple robe jumped down from the city wall. In the middle of the sky, the sudden appearance of the figure, like a patron saint, fell from the sky, making everyone tremble slightly. However, at this time, people cannot see clearly the appearance of the figure in the dark, but can vaguely see the armor she is wearing. Is it the city guard? Isn't the guard long ago? How come there's another one who's only doing it now? Who is he? The doubts in everyone's mind still flashed in their mind. The small figure in the air suddenly brushed his hand. Under the dark night, there were several dazzling lights. When the light dissipated, a few more figures appeared around her. That's Hongling Small Stink, you in the west, Lan Yu in the east, Bakshuir Shiding in the south, no one left. The sound of cloud dancing is like ice, and the pattering raindrops are frozen in mid-air for a second. Mama, burn them. I've been hungry for a long time. Yes, master. Don't worry, master. Don't command me like a master, will you? A few guys mumble, besides Lan Yu, who has a lot of words. However, in the blink of an eye from her command, the figures of several guys have already flashed, and they have already put into the battle after they have found their positions. Cloud Dance looks at to separate several guys that are fighting, Cool Lips Tiny Hook. The next moment, her figure flashed in mid-air, and in a twinkling of an eye, she had already fallen on the left leg side. At the moment left leg looking at Cloud Dance, in addition to surprise, more is unbelievable. Are you the summoner? Just now, except for the cannibal, the others are all contract animals. Cloud Dance looks at the left alliance under the body, the palm turns, Guwu big knife has already returned to the hand. Looking at Zhuo Meng, he said indifferently, your goal has been achieved. Turning around, she looked at the flying warcraft. Her eyes were as cold as ice water, and she kept surging, but the corner of her mouth kept rising with a frightening sneer. The killing has just begun. Looking at the tide of animals coming in groups, the clouds danced and the cold eyes sank. It's a fight she didn't want to fight, so fight as fast as she can. It's just thunderstorm tonight. Maybe we can take advantage of think of here, Cloud Dance hand a turn, immediately put away Guwu big knife. When the big knife is put away, Cloud Dance's palm turns, and a purple ZZ thunder element suddenly jumps from the palm of the hand. In fact, after she got the 7 elements, she used almost all the elements, except for the thunder element, which she didn't seem to use very much. Maybe it's just ready tonight. We can experiment. At the moment of thunder elements rising, Yunwu forces up the elixir field, arouses the power of evil bite in the body, and clasps his hands. When the power of magic bite collides with thunder element, it attacks the nerve of Cloud Dance with strong corrosive pain. It seems that the integration of elements and other forces is really uncomfortable. However, Yunwu clearly felt that the fusion of the two forces produced a new force, which seemed to have the power of terror. This is what she wants. At the moment of power fusion, Yunwu didn't hesitate at all, and stood in mid-air with a leap of body shape. And the hand of the fusion power suddenly strayed into the clouds, and the mid-air lightning and thunderstorms interwoven together, collided with a more gorgeous and terrible power. Boom! Between heaven and earth, it seems to be shaking at this moment. The original night of the night, silver lightning in the sky is endless flashing up. Attack with a shout, lightning in mid-air, like a moment of consciousness. Thunderbolt after thunderbolt fell into the air, steadily and ruthlessly towards the dense tide of beasts, hitting 5 or 6 of them with no ambiguity. The lightning is like a burning invisible blade, which may suddenly appear at any minute. Boom! At this moment, heaven and earth seem to be shrouded between her and the thunder, silver flashing dazzling, ear is that deafening roar. Warcraft was cut neck by thunder elements, constantly fell to the ground, blood into a river, baptism her skirt and boots. Although she was also bloodstained, it seemed that she was the only holy thing in the dirty blood, which made people dare not blaspheme. Ray element? It's the thunder element that has been lost for thousands of years. How could she use the ray element? That's the only element used by the summoner in ancient times. With the extinction of the summoner, the thunder element will no longer exist, so she left League and others, already can't care about their own embarrassment and wound, looking at the thunder and lightning in the sky, the eyes are full of surprise. Summoner plus thunder element, ancient divine summoner. Why do they unconsciously associate these 3 identities together? It's her. Everyone was surprised to see Yunwu. At the moment, a cry of surprise appeared. Someone in the crowd recognized Yunwu, and everyone looked at Yunwu's face. When everyone touched Yunwu's cold face, his body was stiff. Isn't she the woman from Zuotong's Tai? How can we have such a strong strength? At the moment, Zhuo Meng trembled and came to them, looking at the people. The moment I met her, I knew that she would not stand by at the critical moment, she would save us. When he saw Yunwu solve the orc, he had a hunch that she was not an ordinary person. At this time, Nerei element has chosen to attack around automatically in midair, while Yunwu seems to choose another quick solution. The number of beast tide is so huge that it obviously consumes her physical strength and strength to control thunder element. She can't make it to the point of killing all the animal tides with thunder elements. So, still that sentence, catch the thief first catch the king. Under the thunderous night. Waving a big knife and with irresistible momentum, Cloud wave all the way out of the encirclement, and directly towards the beast king who is dormant on the stone in the distance. It was provoking her just now. Now she wants to see if it has the capital to challenge her. The beast king on the stone in the distance looked at the killed companion, followed by the sudden abnormal lightning attack, and his eyes gradually turned red. That belongs to the momentum of the beast king of the desert, staring at the cloud, as if she killed its ancestors 18 generations. Fierce and angry. Under the way of blood, Cloud Dance came to the king. She was all wet, and the rain continued to slide down her delicate body and black hair, and the bloodstain had been washed clean. Seeing his companion killed, I want to take revenge. Cloud Dance looks at the king of beasts, and the corners of his mouth curve. When the king of beasts heard the words, his body became stiff, and his hair suddenly exploded, and his eyes were as red as blood. You kill them to survive, and humans kill you to survive. There is only one rule to survive, that is, the strong are the king, and the losers are the bandits. Obviously, you are the latter. At the end of the speech, the sword in Yunwu's hands suddenly attacked the beast king. The king of beasts jumped to avoid a blow, but there was a trace of surprise in his eyes. This human is so strong. However, Yunwu has a sneer in his heart. The beast king in front of him is 2 meters tall, with canthus and tusks. He is strong and has a strange power. Yunwu remembers that his eyes are just the beast king. Oh, the cloud dances the corner of mouth indifferently sneer, brandishing the big knife to attack. On the other side, a few kids are also excited about fighting. It's excellent meat. I can't wait any longer. As soon as the fangs of Hungling are exposed, they pour their blood into the opposite food. The desert beast leaps to attack Hongling, but it just catches Hongling's temptation and jumps into Hongling's mouth at the moment. The little stink didn't fall at all. It had already burned several warcraft. Poof! A flame instantly burned half of the sky, touched the rain and made a zzzz sound. Although a few desert beasts hide fast, their fur is still burnt and a burning smell spreads. Stink! Little Stinky ran away from them without realizing that it was all thanks to him. Howl. South direction, a few warcraft's sad angry call came. See Shitang already turn into a vine, send out innumerable branches. A branch has been binding the desert beast cannot break free, strangled pain, issued a sad angry roar. Because of you, I was ordered by her. Do you want to run? Dream Shitang was angry, strangled the warcraft in seconds, and instantly turned into warcraft form to kill the herd. Is that a far-fetched reason? Cloud Dance looks at the direction of Shitang, the corner of the mouth raises a touch of radiant. When the same kind meets the same kind, who is better? The battle effectiveness of Lan Yu in the west has broken out, which has solved many desert beasts in an instant. Because of the help of the 5 of them, the people who are fighting get a little time to rest, which allows them to come back to God. This does not return to God is good, a return to God immediately fell into endless surprise. Is this a contract beast? One of them gasped in amazement. Because of his words, everyone looked at the fighting contract beast on their side. When they touched some of them, their eyes turned into a turbulent river. Really, is it really a contract beast? Is there a summoner in this world? And this summoner is right next to them? How is that possible? That's a sacred profession that has been lost for thousands of years. How can anyone? It's midnight. The smell of blood filled the sky. Ma. Master. At the moment, Hongling and Xiaoqiu have solved the problem, and warcraft from the east is back. When they heard that, they were numb and stiff with their master. Is it really her? And then, Master. Blue Yu White Snow Sun and a face unconvinced Shitang also solved to come back. Everyone looked at the corpse of the beast in the desert, his body was stiff and could not move. Your master is the summoner. Left League looking at Hongling, although know the answer, but can't help but also want to ask. Hongling glanced at the Left League, arrogant attitude, of course, master must have that ability. Smell speech, Left League Leng for a long time, the line of sight moves to the Cloud Dance body that is fighting to look at, suddenly he just discovers, that white delicate body actually hides how tough strength. The rare summoner in 1,000 years is right in front of him. How powerful is she? A tall dragon asked. What? You want to challenge? I advise you not to ask for trouble. It's a small matter to break your arm and leg. Shitang took a cold glance at the dragon people, which was ironic. He can't forget those dark losses he ate under Yunwu. Is it really that powerful? Just now, he saw with his own eyes how Shitang killed more than a dozen desert beasts. Its ferocity is really shocking. If Shitang is not her opponent, then the dragon people look at the direction of Cloud Dance and murmur to themselves. Who knows in the distance in addition to the Desert Beast King's corpse, where there is Cloud Dancing figure? People were puzzled. Suddenly, people in the distance saw the figure of Cloud Dance, at the moment she is fighting with a group of warcraft. There are ambushes. I'll eat you if you don't live. Red Linga anger, open a bloody mouth toward the dozen desert beast move. Then the other 4 followed. All of you give me space to play. Cloud Dance looked at the 5 guys behind him and said, Heart read a move, immediately they took back the space. The strength of these 10 desert beasts has reached the 7th level, which is equivalent to that of Warcraft above the 8th or 9th level in the lower world. We can't underestimate them. Those guys spent a lot of money in the First World War of Beast Gate. She was injured, and the power she could provide them was limited, so they had to repair it by themselves. Now their injuries are not all well, and they have been fighting for more than half of the night, consuming a lot of yuan. They can't continue to fight anymore. Kill her for me. A roar of beast, with the evil spirit of Warcraft, pounded the rainy night. In an instant, more than 10 Warcraft swarmed up and surrounded the Cloud Dance in the middle. And far away people physical strength and to the limit, can't support her, but still want to come. Just give it to me. The Cloud dances by a distance behind the desire move of a group of people, pure cold way. Everyone looked at each other, but no one moved forward. Under the hazy and cool rainy night, the purple figure is smart and natural, shuttling between Warcraft, each blow is a Warcraft. Suddenly, the thunder element reappeared, just like a spark, hitting the last Warcraft with a winner's attitude, and the body of Warcraft was instantly burnt into coke by lightning. Another group of Warcraft loomed behind. At the moment, the sky is slightly cool. Warcraft doesn't know whether it's because the sky is bright, or it's shocked by the scene in front of us. As soon as it's exposed, it disappears into the public sight. The tide of animals has receded. At this time, I do not know when the rain has stopped. In addition to the air is still a strong smell of blood, the whole Shacheng has returned to calm. People looked at the purple figure, but they didn't recover from the surprise and shock. Zhuo Meng also looked at her and thought to herself that a woman less than 20 years old not only has such strange and terrible power, but also has the qualification of ancient summoner, so she will surely dominate Kyushu in the future. Looking at Shacheng, where the crisis has been lifted, everyone seems to be relieved. And the corpses all over the floor, with the smell of blood, seem to tell everyone about last night's situation. At this time, everyone's eyes are locked on one person. The smaller purple figure. The left leg endured the wound on the body, the facial expression eased a little, lift a step toward Cloud Dance to walk. Thank you for your help. You're welcome. Yunwu put away the ancient sword and gave him a cold glance. She didn't want to do it, but the sky is already slightly bright, and those thunder elements have already faded. However, Cloud Dance can clearly feel the serious consumption of energy in the body and the dull pain. It seems that the element fusion is really not common unless it is absolutely necessary. There seems to be another internal injury. However, after tonight, it is estimated that the desert beast will not appear for the time being. Moreover, she shows her identity as a summoner. If she stays in Shacheng again, she will have a lot of trouble. Of course, the trouble is not just the use of force. Thought for a while, Cloud Dance willow eyebrow tiny pick, look back to left alliance, nothing, I left first. She said to leave, is to leave Shacheng. After the 10th 5-year plan, the tide of animals has receded, and it will only be 1 year before such a tide appears on the top of the desert. Leaving? Is she leaving now? If the girl really wants magic grass, maybe she can go to the evil city. There must be some. Looking at Cloud Dance's back figure, left alliance droops mouth to meditate for a moment, still opened mouth. Go straight to the west, and the 3rd city is the nearest one to the dragon people. Smell speech, Cloud Dance footstep stagnates a second. However, Yunwu didn't look back. After throwing a pill into his mouth, the wind element attacked his body instantly, and his firepower was fully open to the west. These brothers will die if they need anything in the future. Looking at the figure of her leaving, all the people who responded suddenly yelled together, but I don't know whether she heard it or not. In the element of wind, the cloud dances and the corners of the mouth are curved. Perhaps, the people on the top of the desert are not as bad as they are in circulation. The evil city is the nearest city to the dragon people, so it's not a delay to find the magic grass. The power of the magic grass is too important for her, so she has to go. But she didn't want to take the place of Camel Warcraft. Now she has no power to suppress. She can reach her destination quickly with the wind element. Because of the pressure of the top of the desert, Jinling can't fly, so she has to drive hard by herself. The elements of cloud dance and wind attack the body and come to the slaughterhouse near noon. Butcher the city. This is a city dedicated to fighting martial arts. In addition to challenging and being challenged, only the strong survive. It is a real slaughterhouse. As soon as he entered the slaughterhouse, Yunwu ran into two dueling men. One was tall and burly, wearing scales, and the other was wearing a flaming robe. Their strength was the same as that in the early days of Wuzong. A little dragon has the courage to challenge me. Is the tone of the Phoenix people so rampant? Yunwu stands in the crowd and hears their conversation for a moment. Just now that man said the Phoenix clan, is it the same existence as the Dragon clan? Is the mother of Xylukaku abandoned by the Phoenix family? While she was meditating, the two men had already begun to fight. As soon as the strength of Wuzong was revealed, everyone stepped back to avoid the edge. For all the people in the city, watching the battle is the most obsessive thing every day. This fight is undoubtedly wonderful. After watching for a while, Yunwu inquired about the whereabouts of several people, but no one had seen them. At last, he took a look at the two fighting people, put a smile on the corner of his mouth, and turned away. Ah, girl, etc. Just as Yunwu came to the city gate, the guards in blue armor stopped her. Cloud Dance stops, glances at the guard, and the meaning of inquiry is self-evident. The guard nods and smiles to Yunwu and reaches out a hand to her. Cloud Dance looks at the palm that spreads out to her, tiny frown. What do you mean, money? Or something? She looked at the guard. So, what do you mean, please make it clear. Oh, the girl is new. The guard awkwardly smiles, takes back his palm and says, anyone who enters the slaughterhouse needs to hand in a magic core when going out. Magic core? What is that? Cloud Dance frowns. To the top of the desert for a few days, how never heard about the magic core. It's the magic core in the desert beast, which can play an auxiliary role in enhancing people's cultivation. The guard explained patiently. With a smile, the guards of the slaughterhouse are quite modest. This magic core should be similar to the inner alchemy of spirit beast. The higher the level, the more powerful the magic core is. I knew the role of the magic core. She killed so many desert beasts last night. She should have packed a bag of it. Unfortunately, it's too late to regret now. Where is she going to get the magic core? Do other cities need magic cores? Yunwu has some doubts. Why don't you need it in Shacheng? The guard said with a clear smile, there are 10 cities on the top of the desert. Only the Sand City doesn't need the magic core. Other cities need it. Yunwu's eyes were slightly drooping, and her eyes were a little chilly, because she saw a trace of fox-like cunning and impatience in the smiling eyes of the guard. Is there a knife in a smile? It really fits her first impression of the slaughterhouse. Isn't the girl prepared for the magic core? The guard's smile was obviously cunning. Cloud Dance glanced at him and said indifferently, as long as it's the magic core I gave you, right? The bodyguard was stunned, didn't understand what she said, but nodded slightly. After getting the answer from the bodyguard, Yunwu's figure flashed and swept away in the opposite direction. The bodyguard looked at the Cloud Dance, the figure appeared in 100 meters away, shocked, unable to move his eyes. I want your magic core. Cloud Dance looks at a middle-aged man sitting on the ground, counting the cores while drinking. The middle-aged man raised his hazy drunk eyes and looked at Yunwu. He said, go away, don't bother me. Well, I'll challenge you. I'll win the core. She has been staring at the middle-aged man to count the magic cores, a total of 7, all of which are the magic cores of the 5th level desert beast. The magic core is crystal clear and full of apricot color. It seems that it was obtained by dealing with desert beast last night. In the past, the inner elixir of the spirit beast was round, but the magic core of the desert beast was sharp. Fortunately, she felt the breath of the desert beast in the magic core. Little girl, I advise you to take back what you just said. You are not his opponent. Suddenly a god came over the head of Cloud Dance. Yunwu frowned slightly and looked up. There was a very high dragon standing beside Yunwu, looking down at her. From his height, she was a child of 11 or 12 years old. The dragon people looked at the middle-aged man who was drinking in front of them, with a slight change in his face. Is he the wine saint driven out of Phoenix? Once upon a time, he slaughtered one of the Fenghuang clans overnight. He was driven out by the Fenghuang clans and couldn't go back all his life. Since then, he hasn't heard from him. Now I didn't expect to meet him here. Yunwu looks at the drunk middle-aged man and thinks about what the dragon people said. It can be seen that this person is not so decadent on the surface. Since it's not convenient to give it to you, I'll disturb you. Yunwu smiles and turns to leave. She just needs a magic core to leave the slaughterhouse, and she doesn't want to make trouble. As long as she leaves here, she will be sure to get all the magic cores she needs next. Wait a minute. The middle-aged man suddenly stopped Yunwu. Cloud Dance steps stop, think he agreed to give her magic core, who knows his next words but let her some helpless displeasure. Excuse me, I want to leave just like this when I drink. I'll leave some food and drink. Yunwu looks back at the man with a slight frown on his eyebrows. The tone of his words is unpleasant. Listening to the words, drink and dish, makes her feel uncomfortable. I don't know what you're talking about. Wine Saint, it's time to change your bad temper for so many years. At this time, the dragon people heard the words of the Wine Saint, his face changed slightly, as if he heard something unbelievable. Yunwu looks at the slightly changed look of the dragon people, and his eyes are slightly heavy. He knows that the meaning of drinking and cooking is not so simple. You're not low in cultivation. I'll take your delicious power as my food and drink. The Wine Saint drank the sake in his hand and then stood up. Yunwu turned around and raised a sneer at the corner of his mouth. Oh, it turned out that he was deliberately finding fault. She doesn't want to have more right and wrong, but I'm afraid she can't help the present situation. At this moment, the crowd in the distance suddenly exulted, as if the battle had ended. At the moment when Yunwu looked back, a round thing rolled towards her. Her eyes suddenly sank. It was a head full of blood. This is the result of the battle just now. Only one person can live blindly in the worship of all, while the other person can die in the exaltation of all. This is the survival potential of the slaughterhouse. Looking at the head standing 1 meter in front of her, the cloud danced and the cold light suddenly appeared in her eyes. The next second, a touch of blue fighting air swept through the air, instant cloud dance hit. Yunwu's body leaps backward to avoid a blow. Bang! The porcelain shop, which was still behind Yunwu, was knocked to the ground in an instant. Cloud dance, a touch of danger, blue talent, the strength of the early Wuzong. Just after watching the bustling crowd over there, after hearing the sound here, his eyes immediately shifted, and his eyes were slightly looking forward to it. There are so many people looking for death today. It looks like another good fight. I don't know who will sacrifice the city with blood next. You and I are all watching the duel between Cloud Dance and Wine Saint. In their eyes, this game, Wine Saint won. I didn't expect that the Wine Saint would fight. That's to say, in the past, I would go to bed early. In the past, some people challenged and provoked the Wine Saint, but he didn't care. This time, they took the challenge. While they were sure that the Wine Saint would win, they also looked forward to the strength of the Wine Saint's opponent Yunwu. After all, there were very few people who could challenge the Wine Saint. Cloud Dance smell speech, the corner of the mouth floats a touch of sneer smile. To fight? Which eye did they see that he was fighting? It's him who provokes her. Is that okay? Looking at the drunken Wine Saint on the other side, Yunwu has a look of inquiry at the bottom of his eyes. His eyes are firm and sharp, and he is alert all around. Is this what a drunken person should look like? She was sure that everyone was intoxicated. The black flame sword appears, and the powerful Zizi attacks the Wine Saint in an instant. She doesn't want to make trouble, but she can't help others looking for trouble. On the one hand, she can't kill the city without magic nucleus, on the other hand, once the battle starts, she can't refuse to fight. After all, so many people are watching with a strong riptide burst open, the two have been fighting for a few minutes, but still difficult to tell the outcome. It's worthy to be the person who destroyed the famous family of Phoenix. The strength of the Wine Saint is higher than that of the ordinary people here. What's more strange is that he actually contains the inner alchemy of fire in his body, which makes Yunwoo have to pay attention to it. The two figures are like shadows and illusions, and they are about to win or lose in 100 moves. Cloud Dance's hands gathered the power of magic bite, in the attack to the wine saint, as if deliberately stopped in mid-air, so for a moment, only 3 people saw this action. Stop it! All of a sudden, the dragon people stood between them and roared. Cloud Dance put away the next second will erupt out of the power, look indifferent, standing in place. The wine saint also put away his fire power. One is dark and the other is bright. The two forces collide with each other and disappear in an instant, which makes everyone's eyes feel uncomfortable for a moment. Although they didn't say anything, they were shocked and speechless. Those who are driven out no more, such as the magic power of Cloud Dance. Although they don't know what the power is, they know it's the power of total darkness. Who is that girl? I have a magic core here. I'll give you one. Go out of the city. The dragon people take out a magic core from their arms and give it to Yunwoo. It's strange to look at her. Cloud Dance took over the magic core, slightly jaw-head, turned and left toward the gate. Thank you. The wine saint glanced at the dragon people, picked up the wine pot and fell to the sky, only to find that there was no more wine. He turned away with a sigh. At the moment of leaving, his eyes swept over the Cloud Dancing back. Just now, if he didn't suddenly say, "Stop," to disturb their fight, her blow just now was enough to blow him away. He knew that she deliberately reminded the dragon people to stop them, although the action was extremely difficult to detect, only the 3 of them could understand. To save him face, the wine saint smiles bitterly. Little girl, I hope we can have a fight without scruple when we meet next time. Yunwoo goes to the gate of the city and gives the magic core to the guard. Suddenly, he hears a sound coming from the distance, like a wine saint's. Looking back, in addition to a group of people watching the excitement, they were still shocked and did not find the figure of the wine saint. Is it mindfulness? After going out of the slaughterhouse, the elements of Cloud Dance wind hit the body and drove all the way south again. Now it's getting dark. Cloud Dance can watch in the desert, waiting for the arrival of Desert Beast. Overnight, Yunwoo collected 10 5th-order magic cores, 5 6th-order magic cores, and 2 7th-order magic cores, and kept heading south. Every time you pass through a city, Cloud Dance will enter to inquire about the whereabouts of Long Qingxie and others. You can go through 2 cities in a row, but there is still no whereabouts of Long Qingxie and others. Now you can see the location of the evil city. Yunwoo looks at the tiny evil city in the hazy sight, and a perfect radiance is drawn from the corner of his mouth. After getting the magic grass, after passing the evil city, he is the dragon. I hope some of them have been waiting for her in Longzhou. The wind element is more powerful, and in a short time, it comes to the evil city. Bring me the core. As soon as Yunwoo was near the gate, a guard asked for the magic core. And the guard's attitude is extremely bad. Is this the representative of the evil city people? It really brightened her eyes in slaughtering the city. She knew the role of the magic core in each city. She took out 2 5-level magic cores and gave them to the city guard. Then she went into the city. After entering the city, Yunwoo glanced around to get familiar with it. But I found that most of them are tall and burly, probably because they are closer to the dragon people. Walking around in such a crowd, Yunwoo finds that her sense of existence is very low. It's like taking root among adults, a child who can't grow up. Everyone has to look up and be looked down on at any time suddenly. She saw a sea of people in front of her. It was very crowded. It seemed that something rare had happened. However, no matter what is rare, it seems that it is none of her business. Someone has set up a gambling game in front of us. Let's try our luck. Damn it, it's really bad today. It turned out to be a gamble. The clouds danced and the lips were cool. The gamble was none of her business. After thinking about it, she turned around and planned to leave. I'm going to ruin my fortune for a broken mouse. But it's really good to use that mouse as a pet. She's white all over. Xiaozue must like it. It's a pity. Smell speech, Cloud Dance steps suddenly listen to, eyes tiny mi, reveal a trace of dangerous taste. Isn't it Meng Bai? Brush of, Cloud Dance figure a sweep, block just those two people nearby, cool way, you just said mouse, is what thing? The two were shocked by the sudden appearance of Cloud Dance, and some fear of conditioned reflex made them answer quickly. It's a mouse that the dragon people got at the border of the desert. It's white all over and looks very smart. Cloud Dance slightly droops eyes, turns around and strides toward the crowd, leaving two people who are stunned and have not recovered. In those two people to return to God, looking at the back of Cloud Dance, burst out a curse, damn. Maybe I feel scared by a human in Yunwu, but I can't help it. Crowd into the crowd, Yunwu swept the gambling table a few eyes staring at a dragon in the hands of a white mouse. The white mouse's fur is white, and its eyes have no focal length. It seems that it has been hurt. When the white mouse's eyes see the Cloud Dance, the fleeting focus of his eyes is not lost at all. It's Meng Bai. She could feel that the dragon people holding him were fighting against him and forcing him to return to his original shape. And Meng Bai's own injury is not good. Let's look at the gambling game. It's the size of gambling. He thought it was a contest, but then she saw the rules. There are two kinds of gambling, one is the size of gambling, the other is the solution by force and the decision by drawing lots. The chassis of gambling is 10 magic cores. I'm still a big gambler in this game. Sitting opposite the man in white looked angry and put all the last 10 magic cores on the big table. Ha ha ha, let's start. The man who holds Meng Bai laughs, and his smile is full of treachery. All of a sudden, the atmosphere around the casino became dignified, and everyone was waiting for the results. At the moment when the sieve cup was untied, the crowd hissed and hissed. Looking at the man in white, there was sympathy and ridicule in his eyes. Yes, he lost all the demons. All the people present, only Cloud Dance disdains to smile at the man holding Meng Bai, corner of the mouth condensation, cheat. She clearly saw that the person shaking the sieve was playing tricks. Are these people's eyes used for breathing? How could that be? 10 innings are not as big as one. You're playing tricks, aren't you? The man in white sat up with a roar. It seemed that he was extremely indignant. Men pick eyebrows, instant several tall dragon people will drag the man away, all the way to Cloud Dance. It seems that you can hear the man's curse. The man holding Meng Bai looked at the crowd with pride. Does anyone want to gamble with me? Smell speech, Cloud Dance, lip angle a hook. A skimming body sat opposite the man, indifferent way, I bet with you. Everyone was shocked by the speed of Cloud Dance, but was soon amused by her next words. Are you coming? Don't overdo yourself, little girl. Follow me. I'll make you a nest of mice. Ha ha ha. The crowd looked at the Cloud Dance and burst into laughter. Most of the smiles were obscene and less disdainful. In their opinion, Yunwu, a human being who actually takes the initiative to challenge the dragon people, is just out of his capacity and only loses. In the concept of the dragon people, all other people are lower creatures, and human beings are the lowest. So in the evil city, the dragon people account for most of them, and the phoenix people and other ethnic groups also account for a very small number, but there is no human trace. Of course, except for the Cloud Dance, it seems to be a well-known problem that human beings can't survive in this place of the dragon people. Cloud Dance micro frown, ignore people, lift Mao to see to opposite of man, disdain a smile, dare. Man smell speech, hold Meng Bai's hand a little bit hard some. Obviously, I was provoked by Cloud Dance. I'm afraid you can't afford to gamble. The man's eyes were greedy and looked up and down at Yunwu. Yunwu was so angry that he scolded in his heart, Meng Bai, if you save this son of a bitch, you'll cut this man to pieces, at least for the people. Tell me, how much? The Cloud dances over the eyebrows. Don't gamble on the core. The Cloud dances to smell speech, the vision shrinks, the cool in the eyes is like the frost hidden on. Bet on you. The man took back a lot of eyes and looked at Yunwoo's cold and gorgeous face. His eyes were hot and wretched. If you win, the mouse will be yours, plus 10 magic grasses. If you lose, you will serve me and be my slave. Listen to his words, Cloud Dance's mouth smile more condensation. Sure enough, she really did not guess wrong. Glared at Meng Bai in the man's hand, the cloud dances in the eye to say endless warning. Just now, if it wasn't for the sake of keeping a low profile, now if it wasn't for the sake of magic grass, she would have shot Meng Bai and beat that man to his gums. I promise. Cloud dance in different way. Seeing that Yunwoo agreed so quickly, the man was stunned, and then looked at the man shaking the sieve beside him with a big laugh. He looked at Yunwoo and said, "Let her draw." The man nodded and handed a draw box to Yunwoo. Without hesitation, Yunwoo took a piece of paper and gave it to the man. The man opened it and said calmly, "Martial arts contest." When the crowd heard the words, the quiet crowd suddenly began to boil. It's a martial arts contest. How could she be his opponent? Congratulations, I finally got the beauty. If I could hold such a beauty, I would be energetic every night. All the people talked and danced as if they didn't hear. I'm afraid I can't handle it by force, although the next problems need to be solved by force. Let's start. The man handed Meng Bai in his hand to the man beside him. He jumped to the challenge arena steadily. And the challenge arena didn't make a sound, which shows the strength of the man. Cloud Dance explored the strength of that man, and unexpectedly showed that his strength was the peak of Wuzuan. Just after that jump, his strength was by no means Wuzuan. Is it that the strength of the dragon people is stronger than that of human beings? Cloud Dance cold hum a smile, the body is so much higher than human. What's more, strength, like the current strength of Red Dragon, is absolutely terrible. There is a word in Yunwoo's mind, which is the unique way of human and dragon. All of a sudden, the purple figure flashed away in everyone's sight. The onlookers were surprised at the sudden disappearance of Cloud Dance. That's the next second, Cloud Dance has already stood on the challenge arena. Do it. Cloud Dance cold glance man one eye, pure cold way. By Cloud Dance first said, let the dragon man feel how much lost some face, this sentence let the man's anger burning up. The man resisted the anger of being provoked, pulled out a stiff smile, and split his palm across. Who the strong palm wind swept by the Cloud Dancing ear. The Cloud Dance suddenly retreats, but it is still affected by the palm force, and its hair is like a waterfall, flying away. Shit! How beautiful! People looked at her at the moment, eyes straight out of the blink of an eye staring at her. That scene is like the fairyland ice lotus, cool pure can't blaspheme. Looking at the fierce man, the cloud dances, and the coldness of his eyes passes by. He raised his hand to his shoulder and tied up his hair with a white ribbon. Then, like a flame of wind toward the man in the past. The man's palm turned, easily blocked the next hit, looking at the clouds, eyes full of hot greed. Please take out 10 magic grasses. The cloud dances cold to glance at a man, the eye ground does not have a silk temperature. You know you can't win, and you want to do it openly? Ha ha. The man looked at the cloud dance, smiling quite proud. You have self-knowledge, as long as you follow my uncle, not to mention 10 magic grass, is the moon in the sky, I can also pick it for you. Smell speech, cloud dance sharp eye passes a silk not to bear, return really a self-righteous animal. I'm afraid you won't have the strength to take it later. You. The smile on the man's face has not yet faded. When he hears the words of cloud dance, he suddenly changes his face. The smile is stiff and ferocious. Well, you can't conquer a woman. You're still bullshit here. Admit defeat. One by one, the dragon people who are watching the scene and making sarcastic remarks excite each other, and the cloud dance is not heard. However, the man opposite loses his sense in anger. He throws down 10 magic grasses and uses all his strength to attack the Cloud Dance in an instant. Cloud Dance lips outline a lethal smile like poppy chestnut blooming. Move your figure. With Cloud Dance figure strange bending, the dragon people who hit Chaoyun Dance have not met her, they have lost their goal. In his stupefied seconds, the whole person fell from mid-air in a parabolic arc. The crowd looked at the Cloud Dance that suddenly appeared behind the man like a ghost, and their hearts thumped. It was the assassin's killing skill. This woman just showed her fighting spirit. She is a warrior, but she knows how to kill an assassin. Bang! There was a loud noise in the challenge arena. After the loud noise, a human-shaped groove appeared in the middle of the challenge arena. The man was deeply stuck in the groove and struggled to get up, but it was useless. People look at the scene in front of them, shocked with open mouth, just that strange scene constantly whirling in people's minds. Qinglong, one of the 3 warriors of the Dragon Clan, was beaten by that blow and couldn't get up. Insiders know that the assassin's killing skills, she has been merciful. Yunwu put away her sneer and resumed her usual indifference. Looking at the 10 magic grasses on the table in the distance, she pinched the empty palm of her hand, and the magic grasses were already in her hands. Now that you lose, they're all mine. Cloud Dance looks at Meng Bai, who has just been thrown aside because of the impact, and her eyes are slightly dark. Just at the moment when Yunwu picked up Meng Bai, it was suddenly dark. At that moment's speed, it was too late for her to retreat. She took the blow on her back and took advantage of the gap to turn over and jump. Cough. The power of that blow was so strong that her breath was shaken. Looking at the green dragon standing up again in front of him, there was no other internal injury except trauma, and there was a trace of cold between the Cloud Dancing eyebrows. It seems that the assassin's skill didn't play much role in him. The strength of Qinglong is not so simple. The Cloud Dance's and the Phoenix's eyes are slightly narrowed. What's under the eyes? The next second, Cloud Dance heart read a move, called out a few small guys. Ma. Master. Small Stink, Hungling, Lanyu, Bai Shuer and Shiding appear together. One by one, when they saw the Cloud Dance, they seemed very happy. Although Shiding still can't stand the Cloud Dance, looking at the pale face of the Cloud Dance, a rare shade of gloom flits past in the deep of his eyes. The vision is like an eagle in the night, staring at the green dragon. Qinglong looks at Shiding's eyes, his body trembles, and then looks at Yunwu's fierce eyes. She's a summoner. The crowd looked at a few guys in front of Yunwu and pointed to Yunwu in shock. They couldn't say a word anymore. How many of them? One of the Fenghuang people pointed to Yunwu and said a word of surprise, but everyone knew what he was going to say. This human is a summoner, damn it. One of the dragon people looked at Yunwu with fierce eyes. Maybe outsiders don't know what his reaction means. But the dragon people hate human beings, and even more hate human summoners. This is what all the dragon people have in common. Yunwu saw that the dragon people hated her as a summoner more than they were surprised, and knew that things were not easy. Summoner, the master can't keep you anymore. Green dragon horse a roar, a touch of palm wind instant Cloud Dance attack. But at the next moment, Qinglong power is blocked by a few little guys around Yunwu. Dragon and beast war begins. Yunwu thinks about Qinglong's sharp and swift hand, which reminds her of karate. Now the strength of several guys has surpassed Qinglong. The harder Qinglong got to the end, the worse he was. But Qinglong's strength is not blowing, although it has a disadvantage, it has not been defeated for a long time. Cloud Dance hands ring chest, looking at the fighting several guys, eyes swept a helpless look, but still did not say a word. For her, time is not a problem, the result has been obvious. Is that the contract beast? The strength is really strong. Qinglong, this girl's life is a shame to us. She must not be allowed to live. Yes, kill her. Everyone looked at Yunwu, as if they saw their father's enemy. One by one, they wanted to tear her up immediately. Yunwu frowned slightly. The dragon people can understand the constant growth of human beings, but why are they so resentful of the call? There is no time to think about it. The figure of Qinglong is approaching. The cloud dances a side body to hide, a few small fellows then rush up. How dare you hurt my master? I ate you. Hongling roared, opened his mouth and attacked Qinglong, followed by Xiaoqiu. Lan Yu and Bai Shuer are entangled with Qinglong again in the next second. I don't like you very much. I'll leave you to damage your features. Shideng looks at the green dragon. His eyes are dark and cold. He turns into a vine and curls towards the green dragon. Cloud Dance looked at Shideng, really don't know what to say. Several guys just had a playful attitude, so they didn't beat Qinglong. Qinglong just attacked, no doubt angered a few guys. After a while, Qinglong fell to the ground as a loser. Watching Qinglong fall, people are slightly surprised. The dragon people, in particular, all know the strength of Qinglong. They were struck by several contract beasts, but they were not shocked at all. There was a dead silence around the challenge arena, and shock and surprise filled the whole challenge arena. Mama! Little Stink, who had just finished the battle, immediately came up. Yunwu slightly lowered his head, squinted at Little Stink, and said helplessly, "Don't come up." She's afraid of the little stinky mucus little smelly smell speech. Face wronged for a second, the next second will be jubilant in the cloud dance around and jump, as if there is something big happy. Yunwu frowns slightly. Even if the little guy has human form, he still doesn't grow up. Stinky thing, the master thinks you stink, get out of here. Red Ling White small stink one eye, no good airway. No doubt, because of this sentence, the two little guys fought again. Looking at the distance where the fire continues, Yunwu's forehead is black. Looking back, she finds out what the dragon people in the crowd are looking at her. After shock and surprise, there was anger and killing intention. Let's go together. We must not let her run today. One of the dragon people said that, with a leap in the air, his huge body turned into a dragon shape and hovered over the head of Cloud Dance. Then, 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the sky, the dragon roared, as if it was like a Cloud Dance demonstration. Cloud Dance eyes emerge a layer of frost, slightly lift eyes, a dragon suddenly swing tail, just forced Cloud Dance had to jump off the challenge arena. Just as Yunwu fell into the challenge arena, a flash of fire came straight at her. The anger in Yunwu's heart rises suddenly, and the fire element lifts up in an instant, which is similar to a fire dragon and goes away directly. A crash sound, fire and fire dragon 4 scattered. Yunwu stares at the 7 dragons overhead, and his eyes are full of murders. Isn't it a bit too compelling? Ha ha ha, look at her in a mess. That's human beings. They are beyond their capacity. Yes, lowly creature. Listening to the slander and satire over my head, the smile on my lips is spreading, but my eyes are as quiet as ice. The next second, she raised her hands slightly, and several small families swarmed up again. And she joined the fight herself. A touch of strong power in the air constantly cut off, fire throughout the sky. Little Stink, burn it. The cloud dances indifferently to shout, next second soars up, through a dragon to the small stink direction. Smell speech, small stink immediately spit fire, the dragon burned bared his teeth. Xiaoxiaica is a descendant of the Millennium Phoenix, and absorbs 1/3 of the original fire in Yunwu's body. The power of fire is several times stronger than that of the dragon. It's just that, because it's not fully evolved, the degree of burn is not too high. The two gangs seemed to be red-eyed and chased by others. They were still so aggressive. Yunwu no longer had any scruples and tried her best to attack. What's the matter? Why is there a fight? Suddenly, a distant and elegant voice came from behind Yunwu. Listening to the comfortable sound, Yunwu's back was cold. It was the comfortable sound that made her feel the pressure. Looking back, I saw a man in a simple and elegant robe, with a fan in his hand, a black hair simply bound, and a meaningless smile on the corner of his mouth. And in his hand, he grabbed Meng Bai. The next second, Cloud Dance landed on the ground. The man also followed back to the surface. She was sure that the man was looking at her, but also all the way to her leisurely walk over. He was followed by several men in white armor, who seemed to be the guards of the evil city. Is he like the Left League, who is the commander of the city guard? Intuition told her that there might be little taking a look at the man. Yunwu is sure that he hasn't seen him, but he doesn't understand why he comes straight at her. Several giant dragons hovering in mid-air trembled when they heard the man's voice. Cloud Dance seems to be able to feel their abnormality, only to see that the siege of her several dragons has become a human form. There is no just violent killing intention. The man walked all the way to Yunwu and looked at her smile, which made her feel like a spring breeze, but with the cold of winter. Then he looked at the dragon people and slightly raised his eyebrows. I'm sorry, Lord. It won't happen again. One of them touched his face and quickly bowed his head to apologize. Forgive us this time. Girl, please forgive me for offending you so much. The 7 people who had just made the move bowed their heads and apologized, completely without the arrogance just now. As for the others, Yunwu glances back to see where there are other people. Have you already gone? Looking back at the man, Cloud Dance's eyes are full of light. These dragon people just called him the city leader. Is he the mysterious 10 city leader? The man saw that 7 people bowed their heads to Yunwu and apologized. Looking back at Yunwu, he said with a smile, at the time of Animal Tide, thanks to the girl's help, Shaqing didn't turn into ruins overnight. Yunwu pondered for a moment, shaking his head, but he was thinking, how did he know that she did it at that time? Did he listen to the people in Shaqing, or did he observe secretly all the time, but didn't do anything? Puzzled eyes looked at the man, but the man still looked at her with a smile, seemed to know what she was thinking. But just now that 7 people hear the man's words, the eye ground that hide to kill intention is instantly surprised unceasingly. Is she the woman who protected Shaqing? The summoner who drove back the desert beast by one man? 7 people looked at each other, a trace of coolness passed in their hearts. Summoner. Yes, the woman who saved Shaqing on the 15th night was also a summoner. When they knew that this woman was a summoner, they were shocked, but they were stunned by hatred. I didn't expect that there would be several summoners in this world. I'm afraid this is the only one in front of me. Did the girl forgive them? The man asked Yunwu. Cloud Dance didn't answer, then saw the man slightly nodded to look at the 7 people. No one blames you. Just do what you need to do. Men toward them a smile, smile is more cold. A few people smell speech, turn round to want to leave, but be stopped by small stink etc. If you want to be provocative, do you want to leave? Is there such a good thing in the world? A few people body a zheng, looking at small stink, their eyes are full of warning anger, but dare not attack. They are very puzzled. How could the 10 city lord who is the leader but not the end suddenly appear? Fortunately, they met him once 10 years ago, otherwise they didn't know what serious mistakes they would make in front of him. It's not uncommon that they would be expelled from 10 cities forever. The man looked at the Cloud Dance, and the cold smile on the corner of his mouth was gone. On the contrary, it was a warm smile like the rising sun on the 3rd day. A pair of men's eyebrows are slender and curved, long eyelashes are like women's, under the eyelashes is a pair of deep dark eyes, like a deep and unfathomable, delicate nose, slightly upward corners of the mouth. It seems that there is always a trace of smile, even a meaningless smile. The whole person looks very handsome, elegant, and a bit of a woman's beauty. Looking at him, she thought of Longqingxi. Longqingxi was full of evil smell, and this man was more isolated, but they had the same deep and unpredictable breath. I don't know what happened, but I apologize for them, hoping to sell me face. The man looked at the Cloud Dance and said it was extremely plain. Cloud Dance gently pulled the corners of his mouth and slightly raised his eyebrows. I don't care what hatred they have with human beings, and what hatred they have with the summoner. The premise is that I have no injustice or hatred with them. Since they have no scruples, what can I have to worry about? What she said was clear. It was their provocation that came first. The man gave a smile, then looked at the dragon people and said, "Did you hear her? How many people have been killed and wounded since the battle?" Not only those dragon people, Yunwu was stunned for a moment. What does that mean? Ah! A scream followed. Cloud Dance looked at the pain of the dragon people, the bottom of the eye a little wave, self-harm. It turns out that Cloud Dance sneer, originally he said should be a few casualties, is this meaning? That warm smile actually hidden such a dangerous moral, really a dangerous person. Then another dragon man took a look at Yunwu, and saw that Yunwu had no reaction. He looked dim for a moment, took a deep breath, and hit his left palm to his chest. Poof! One hit down, the dragon people instantly pale, spewing out a mouthful of blood. We can see how much power that hit used. Seeing and hearing, Yunwu frowned slightly and glanced at the handsome man around him. The man still looked at Yunwu with a warm smile, as if asking whether Yunwu was satisfied with the result. Cloud Dance slightly droops the eye bottom undercurrent passes by. This person's strength is clearly above her, why must accommodate her satisfaction? Just drive her out of town, isn't it? In his body, Yunwu felt a strange breath, extremely thorough but can destroy all the breath. It is not an ordinary person should have breath. In particular, the fan in his hand is painted with a palace, but the palace is like a familiar one. It's bad luck for me to fall on you today. Just as Yunwu looked at the man, Qinglong's voice rang on her side. At the moment when Yunwu looks back, he sees Qinglong holding a dagger to his neck. Bang! The sound of the knife falling and the dagger falling. Enough. Cloud Dance cold glanced at that smiling man, slightly frowned. This matter ends here. If she doesn't nod, is he going to let them kill themselves all the time? Isn't he the lord of these 10 cities? Let the killing come. You can beat her, can't you? Thank you for selling me face. Man, a smile of extremely elegant cool. Thank you for saving my life. Qinglong stands up, leans slightly toward the cloud, turns around and disappears into their sight. Cloud Dance but found in the moment he turned around, the bottom of the eyes of the fierce and murderous. It seems that she led a fatal trouble left alive. However, what she has to do now is to get magic grass and Meng Bai. She doesn't care about other things. Others left after thanking Yunwu one after another. The whole challenge arena was only surrounded by Yunwu and the mysterious man. A touch of abnormal divine exchange shuttled between them. You let them die. You want things back to you, plus 10 magic grass also gave you, hope to help you. The smile at the corner of the man's mouth becomes a little weird and hands Meng Bai and magic grass to Yunwu. Looking at his strange smile, Yunwu took over Meng Bai without hesitation, but hesitated for a second when he took over the 10 magic grasses, and thought about taking them in a moment. No matter how he laughs, what's in his mind, just know that these two things are what she wants. Take the magic grass back to the space and take a look at Meng Bai in the palm. Yunwu's eyes narrowed. Meng Bai suffered the same injury as her, and now it hasn't healed. After thinking about it, Yunwu takes back several guys' rings, turns around and disappears in front of the man's eyes. The man looked at the Cloud Dance's back, with a strong smile and a trace of evil. I hope next time we meet, you are fully awake. The distant purple figure stopped for half a second and disappeared at the corner. Yunwu brings Meng Bai into a remote corner and feeds him magic grass. Although Meng Bai is still weak and unable to speak, he knows the effect of magic grass and tries his best to chew it. Well, it's our fault our boss, still want to go, brothers, give it to me. There was a stammering voice behind Yunwu. There was no sense of threat. It sounded more fear. Just after they appeared within 10 meters of the Cloud Dance, she knew that their target was her. But she felt that they were more scared than killed, so she didn't look back. What are you here for? Cloud Dance squats on the ground and looks at Meng Bai, who chews the magic grass bit by bit, coldly. Of course, to kill you. Get out of here while I'm in a good mood. Yunwu shook his head helplessly. Actually sent such people to pursue and kill her, was she underestimated, or deliberately let them to die? These people are all human beings. You. I don't know. I've changed my mind if I'm not going. Cloud Dance looks back at a few people, eyes color cold to cold. Several people look at each other, want to go but can't go. Go is a dead end, don't go or a dead end. You're not leaving, are you? Just how those people ravaged me, I'll give it to you 1,000 times. Meng Bai looks at several people and roars angrily. He is about to get up and pounce on them. However, his strength hasn't recovered yet. It doesn't help to kick a few legs. He looks funny. Being treated as a mouse and playing with it without dignity, his anger in his heart should be able to burn half a prairie fire at the moment, right? Hearing Meng Bai's words, they didn't have any fear. After all, it was a mouse, and they trampled to death. But when they heard a mouse talking, their face turned pale immediately. This is not an ordinary mouse. Hurry up, report to the boss as soon as possible. A group of people disappeared in ashes. Dare to say I'm a mouse, I'll kill you. Meng Bai looked at the figure of several people, hoarse voice roared, a pair of eyes eager to overflow fire. He's a mole of noble blood. At the moment, Meng Bai absorbed the power of the magic grass, and his eyes had a focal length. Although he could not change back to human form, his strength of speaking began to rise, and soon he was alive. Brother Mouse, don't beat me up. Let's leave now. Cloud Dance glanced at angry Meng Bai, helpless way. If you don't leave, you'll get into trouble. You call me a mouse, too. Meng Bai is dissatisfied and roars, but as a rat, he is too short. He has no sense of threat. His whole posture is still looking up at Yunwu. Cloud Dance hangs Mao to see him one eye, indifference way. Can you say you now of appearance don't resemble a mouse? Even if it's like this, it's not so clear. Cloud Dance picks up Meng Bai, and the wind element attacks him and moves towards the gate of the evil city. On the way, I met a few people who had hurt themselves just now. I deliberately speeded up and passed by them. The power of wind element directly made them stagger. After arriving at the gate of the city, Yunwu takes out the magic core and gives it to the guard, taking Meng Bai to the dragon tribe. She has heard all the cities in recent days. Except for Meng Bai, there is no whereabouts of Dragon Qingxie and Red Fire Dragon. There is only one possibility. They are attacked by the Dragon Clan. Red Fire Dragon, she is not too worried, most worried about the dragon is evil. The Red Fire Dragon itself is a dragon people, even if it has a festival with the dragon people, it will not die. Moreover, after so many years, even if something happened, it is estimated that it has been forgotten. But Long Qingxie is a man. If he is found by the dragon people when he is in a coma, the result will be Yunwu can't imagine, so now it's certain that he's in the dragon clan. She must go as fast as she can. After Yunwu left the evil city, the stammering humans just came back with their boss, who turned out to be Qinglong. What the hell did you say when I asked you to invite me back? No, is that to tie her back? I'll go to your uncle. Green Dragon yelled. First of all, although the dragon people hate human beings, they just instill ideas into human beings. Human beings don't do anything wrong to him. They want to thank Yunwu for not killing him. Second, because she is the summoner who saved Shacheng, she has a slight change in her view of human beings and wants to invite Yunwu to dinner. As a result, his request became killing. After this incident, the Cloud Dance became famous. Everyone knows that there was a summoner here, who spread the Cloud Dance from person to person. For a time, the reputation of Cloud Dance was carried out in 10 cities on the top of the desert. Of course, Yunwu didn't know all this. She thought they were looking for her everywhere to kill her. Yunwu rushed all the way to the south wind element, and finally arrived at the dragon border the next morning. But unexpectedly, there were still dragon people guarding the dragon border. The purpose was to prevent human beings and other people from mixing in. It's all here, but I can't go in now. Hayo, can you help me develop some medicines to hide the human breath? Now if you want to enter the dragon nationality, you must suppress the human breath. As long as you don't let the dragon nationality smell the human breath, there will be no problem. In the Hall of Chaos, the answer to her is silence, but Yunwu knows that Hayo has heard it. He is not talking, waiting patiently for his answer. After a long time. Oh. There was a sigh in the Hall of Chaos. I have a one yanden here, which can suppress your breath, but its effect can only last for 1 day. That's enough. The cloud dances, and there's a glimmer of air in the bottom of my eyes. 1 day is enough. Black proud toned out, but with a trace of doubt. I mean 1 day is enough for you to develop pills. The answer to the cloud dance in the Hall of Chaos is a silence afternoon. Yunwu sneaks into the Chaos Hall, and Hayo gives her the pills. Then she finds that Hayo's figure seems clearer. Although she still can't see her facial features clearly, it's much clearer than before. When Wan Yendan left, Yunwu suddenly remembered, looked back at Hayo and said, "When can I get the pills?" "When the pills are ready, I'll call you." Cloud danced slightly jaw-head, so better, if something urgent happens, in case she forgot, human breath exposure, then the trouble will be big. Black AO looking at her back, helplessly began to develop pills. After leaving the Chaos Hall, after a rest in the afternoon, Mengbai has absorbed the effect of magic grass completely, and now he has turned into human form. Because he is a mouse, the dragon people don't hate him, so he can go in and out at will, without pills. After swallowing the elixir, Yunwu walks into the border of the dragon nationality. Only then can he feel the power from the border of the dragon nationality. It seems that the power is suppressed by something, as if it is out of control as long as it is touched. After thinking about it, Yunwu put out a finger and poked it. Suddenly, the bone was shocked into pain. The rebound force was dozens of times greater than the force she used. With such a strong force, even the dragon people themselves can't break through. Cloud dancing sneers. It's really a good border to defend against the attack of the dragon people. Just after Yunwu touched Jijie, suddenly a silver dragon appeared in the sky. With a roar of the dragon, the slender body kept circling in the sky, and the momentum immediately came up. Cloud Dance looks at the silver dragon and frowns slightly. The dragon guard in the distance is still standing, but the silver dragon who doesn't know what to do appears. Isn't it the dragon guard who comes to open the border for her? The silver dragon's figure suddenly turned into a human shape in an instant. A cold-faced man in silver armor came into view. The armor was full of beautiful light. Suddenly, a sense of sacredness came into being. Who are you? The silver dragon looked up and down at Yunwu with sharp and alert eyes. I want to ask you that again. The cloud dances and frowns slightly. I really know little about the dragon tribe. It's better to find the red fire dragon as soon as possible. Silver Dragon watched the cloud dance for a long time, the vigilant eyes disappeared, instead of confusion. Just now, he clearly felt that people of noble blood were coming, so he came out to meet. How could it be a little woman? He is the guardian of the dragon's boundary. He specially welcomes the arrival of people of noble blood. The purer the noble blood is, the brighter the color of Taiyan's stick in his hand. There are 3 classes in the color of Taiyan's stick. White is the most elementary, that is, the arrival of close relatives of noble blood will show. For example, children, pink is the intermediate, and only the head of each family, such as the dragon king of the dragon, will show. And red is the most advanced. As for who will show it, he doesn't know. He has lived for hundreds of years. In history, red has never been shown, but it is shown today. Tian stick shows that Mengbai's noble lineage has reached the primary level, which indicates that the high-level lineage is not him, so it can only be one person. Now standing in front of the guardian is a short, beautiful woman, more or less shocked him. It's a red Tian stick that hasn't been lit for hundreds of years. Nanny's expression of surprise returned to his usual calm and indifference. His palm was spread out and his purple fighting spirit rose instantly. In the blink of an eye, it looked like some kind of customs clearance token except for a brand. The man pushed the token to the border. After a while, a square hole as big as a token appeared in the border. The hole continued to extend around, and finally the opening could pass a person. Come in. The man leaned slightly. Cloud Dance Willow Eyebrow Tiny Pick, a swept body then entered the border, originally thought that this silver dragon suddenly appeared, is to find something to stop her, did not expect is to help her come in. After entering the dragon clan, Yunwu gives Mengbai a look, which means that we are walking. Without looking at the man, they turn and walk towards the dragon clan. And the man looked at the Cloud Dance's back, lost in thought, after a long time to restore the body, circling the sky, leaving in the air. It takes about an hour for the dragon people to live in the border. It takes only half an hour for Yunwu and Mengbeifeng elements to rush all the way. After entering the dragon nationality, when there were many people, there were basically dragon people in every corner of the street, and above the dragon nationality, there were some dragons playing with the sun. Yunwu looks at the sky flying on the ground. His face turns black. The dragon and the dragon are confused compared with the residents of the Terran. Every family of the dragon clan lives in the same place as the dragon palace. The size of each family is about the size of half of the palace of the Terran. It's probably because of its large size. If it wants to recover one day, it will be able to hold looking at the residents of the dragon people. She pondered that the place where the ordinary dragon people live is so tall. Isn't the dragon palace really like the dragon palace in a TV play? A luxurious and noble mess? When I compare the dragon palace with the forbidden area where Red Fire Dragon is kept, I feel that I have been so ungrateful to the 8th prince of the dragon family along the way. Although there is no body language conflict between Yunwu and the dragon people, all the dragon people look at Yunwu strangely. Also, in the eyes of the dragon people, the height of Yunwu is just a few years old child wandering in the street. Is it a wild child that nobody cares about? See, that's the difference between man and dragon. Mengbai points to a mother and daughter who normally buys vegetables and jokes. Mom, I want that marshmallow. A girl a few inches taller than Yunwu is pulling her mother's clothes. I'm 10 years old and I still eat candy. No more. I don't know. Cloud Dance automatically blocks the next conversation. Sister, be careful not to fall. My brother is leading you. Mengbai pulled up Yunwu's arm, and his voice was much louder. Cloud Dance behind him, the face of the brush gloomy down, but due to many people look at the eyes, did not attack. They come to an inn and book 2 rooms. Yunwu thinks about how to ask about the whereabouts of Dragon Qingxie and Red Fire Dragon. After thinking about it, they decide to go out and try their luck. Mengbai is half a head higher than Yunwu and is still a man, so he goes with her in the name of protection. Dragon is not only tall for men, but also tall for women. Here, Yunwu feels that her sense of existence drops sharply. The 3-year dragon fight in Weiqing town has begun. Go and have a look. Every year the dragon fight comes, and every time it's unprepared. It's said that the 3 princes personally supervise and the 4 princes accompany this time. This time, there will be a lot of excitement. A group of people over Cloud Dance and Mengbai are discussing about the topic of dragon fight. Cloud Dance ponders for a moment, toward the Mengbai behind makes a wink. 2 people follow just that several people's footsteps. If the Red Fire Dragon is really in the dragon race, he should hide his identity to watch the dragon fight competition. Those who go to watch the dragon fight competition must know the recent events of the dragon race, such as how a human being is treated. If nothing serious happens, the dragon should be safe. Following the group, Yunwu and Mengbai come to Weiqing town. Strange is that there are not only dragon people in Weiqing town, but also Fenghuang people, and some people of other races. It's cloud dance that brings back the sense of existence here under the temptation. Yunwu knew that Weiqing town was actually the place where the foreigners gathered, which could also be said to be the place where the dragon people didn't care. The annual dragon fight of the dragon people is held in one place. One is to show the strength of the dragon people, the other is to frighten the arrogance of these foreigners. At the moment, the dragon fight competition has begun, and the duel is between a green dragon and a white dragon. What's the special significance of the dragon fight? Yunwu walked to a woman about her size and asked. The woman took a look at Yunwu, and her eyes returned to the challenge arena again. The last champion of the dragon fight competition can get rare treasures from the two princes. What's rare? Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrows. There is a dragon ball in front. Last year, it was a magic sword. This year, I don't know what it is. I heard that it's light. I don't know exactly. The woman stares at the challenge arena for a moment, and answers Yunwu's answer very prevaricate. But the meaning Cloud Dance also understood, when she heard what light, eyes suddenly a bright, can't be the ancient light. Although she knows that this possibility is very small, if she doesn't look at what light it is, she may not be able to sleep. After thinking about it, she looks at Meng Bai behind her and picks her eyebrows at him. Meng Bai nodded. We have to see what light it is. They finally found an empty position to sit down and began to wait for the end of the dragon fight. Cloud Dance around to see, the target on the side of a middle-aged man not far away. I don't know if I've heard about it. Recently, a great event of mutual indignation happened among the dragon people. The middle-aged man looked back. What's the big deal? I've been here for 3 months. Why haven't I heard of it? Well, how did I hear that a human broke in? Cloud Dance pretends to be surprised. Smell speech, the middle-aged man peak eyebrow a wrinkly, looked around, the little girl mouth has no block, this words don't talk nonsense, careful small life don't protect. So it didn't happen. Yunwu looks a little bit ugly. The man shook his head, that person doesn't want to live, come here to die. Cloud Dance eye ground facial expression a change, relaxed a breath, then smile away, say is. Then he looked at Meng Bai, are you tired of living? To make fun of such a thing Meng Bai looks at the Cloud Dance, the corner of his mouth a pursed, a pair of eager to strangle her appearance. Use him as a shield. Now I know that Long Qingxie has not been caught by the dragon people, and my heart I've been holding is finally slightly lowered, but it's not that there is no possibility of being harmed. The Cloud Dance eye ground skips a trace of fidgety displeasure, all in wishful thinking what? Now the dragon fight is coming to an end. The next duel is the young master of Sun family and the third son of Luo family. This victory or defeat determines the champion of this year's dragon fight competition. Now let's invite the third prince and the fourth prince to reveal for us the rare treasures that this year's champion has won. As soon as this was said, countless women screamed and screamed in the crowd, which made Yunwu seal her eardrum with force. If you listen to this, her eardrum will be broken. I didn't expect that the girls of the dragon clan are so open. Maybe there will be a big wave of addicts when they leave. But these women are a little tall. It's okay to be a fan. It's definitely not okay to be a daughter-in-law. Although Yunwu sealed her eardrum, she could hear Meng Bai's words deliberately. Listening to Meng Bai's shameless words, Yunwu could only choose whose words she could not hear. Marry a dragon woman. When I went to the human world and the upper world, I thought it was my mother leading my son at this moment, all around suddenly quiet down, the women around the challenge arena staring at the eyes, a blink does not blink at the air that two white dragon shadow, almost a little crazy. Along with the woman's eyes, two vigorous figures in mid-air are more and more clear. It's two white dragons. The next second, the two white shadows came to a 360-degree rotation in the air. With a long chant, they suddenly fell down. At the moment of landing in the challenge arena, the two white shadows had turned into human form. A natural and handsome, seemingly unruly. One is calm and introverted, and seems to have a great city. The 3 princes are so handsome. They are as smart as last year. Cut, 4 princes are still so steady. This is the ideal man in the eyes of all women. The women around the challenge arena fell into a crazy argument again. Yunwoo, who had just lifted the power seal, had to seal the eardrum again. Women of the dragon nationality are really open. Looking up at the 2 people on the stage, the star's eyes narrowed slightly. They seemed to be living in the dragon family like fish in water. Unfortunately, the 7th prince, Red Fire Dragon, had been imprisoned for hundreds of years. Is it the son of a dragon king? Why is it the opposite? Cloud Dance can't help but wonder again whether Red Fire Dragon's father, Old Dragon King, will be green-headed. This is the brother of Red Fire Dragon. Will the Old Dragon King be green-headed? Meng Bai looks at the 2 people who are supported by the public and has some doubts. Actually thought of going together. 3 Princes Qi Shu Dynasty crowd made a shush gesture, action natural and unrestrained, if not body tall. Cloud Ball think he is a beautiful man. This year's Dragon Fight champion gets better babies than any other year. Do you want to broaden your horizons? Smell speech. Not only is the woman's scream, has been silent man also shush up. They come to see this dragon fight competition is to see what the final reward is. Then open it and let us laymen see what kind of treasure it is. Yes, the 3rd prince said it was a treasure. It must be a good thing. Qi Shu smell speech, the corner of the mouth show a smile, then look to Qi Yong around, for younger brother, otherwise first open things, let them see how. Qi Yong glanced at Qi Shu and nodded, of course. Cloud Dance looked at the communication between the 2 people, obviously felt that the 3 princes were listening to the 4 princes, shouldn't they be small ones listening to big ones? However, it's not surprising that Qi Shu seems to be interested in playing and prefers the superficial things, while Qi Yong pays more attention to the real things. Hearing Qi Yong's consent, Qi Shu smiles. In his hand, there is an sandalwood box. The sandalwood box is green and beautiful, just like moss. It looks old. Looking at the box, Cloud Dance eyes flash. Is this inside the light of ancient times? Under everyone's gaze, Qi Yong takes out a bronze key and slowly opens the box. At that moment, Yunwoo's eyes were never before. As the box slowly opened, a shining silver light came out. The light at that moment made the bright sunshine fade. It's really the light of ancient times. In the mind the dragon leaps and turns, the golden light spreads the information. The remnant of light in ancient times is a bit of power left in the upper world when the divine world was in chaos thousands of years ago. Its power is enough to go up to heaven and earth, but not everyone can control it. Remnant? The cloud dances and frowns slightly. Is this just part of the ancient light? This is the light of ancient times. Can you feel the power of the things that the divine world fell to the dragon clan? If this power can be used for its own use, I don't have to say much about the benefits, do I? When people look at the ancient light, they can feel the power. Although few people have heard of the ancient light, what they leave behind in the divine world must be good. Then bursts of regret appeared in the crowd. It was probably a pity that they had not been able to continue to stand on the challenge arena just now. The 2 people who stood on the challenge arena looked more alert and got the ancient light. They seemed determined to win. Cloud Dance looks at the ancient light, droops his eyes and ponders. What does it mean that the 3 princes and the 4 princes take out the ancient light as a reward? Since the ancient light is so unpredictable, why don't they take it for their own use? And it's still a remnant. Where is the rest of the ancient light? Dragon Palace? It's better to have something than nothing. At least now we have a clue. Meng Bai looks at the Cloud Dance and picks his eyebrows. Cloud Dance nodded, the corner of the mouth curved. Until the end of the challenge arena, Yunwoo didn't find the Red Fire Dragon. He couldn't help clapping in his heart. Could he really meet any danger? Mengbai seemed to guess what Cloud Dance was thinking. With his bad temper, it would be really hard to say. Smell speech, Cloud Dance indifference sweep him one eye, then put the vision on the stage. Don't worry, this used to be his territory after all. Mengbai touched a nose of ash, quickly changed his tongue. Cloud Dance did not speak, still looking at the stage. Mengbai had to shut up bitterly. The two dragon shadows on the stage are constantly whirling and attacking. Each collision will produce an earthquake-like sound. With a perfect arc, one dragon will fall to the ground and the other will win. Cloud Dance looked at the dragon spinning in the air, his eyes sank slightly. The process doesn't matter, it's who wins. Next, I declare that Sun Qianling, the young master of the Sun family, won. Yunwu takes a look at Sun Qianling, who is in the shape of a human. He turns around and leaves the crowd. What are you going to do? Mengbai knew that Cloud Dance would not give up the ancient light, even if it was a remnant. What do you think? Yunwu gave him a mysterious smile. Mengbai's face turned black and looked a little conflicted. No, we can use other methods. There's no other way than this. Yunwu turns and leaves. Mengbai. Looking at the Cloud Dance going further and further, Mengbai followed up and said a word in a low voice. You don't have to steal, do you? He's a noble. Let him steal, it's natural for mice to steal. After returning to the inn, Mengbai ordered some dishes. Yunwu thought while eating, thinking about how to get the ancient light. Suddenly, the conversation of several people at another table not far away attracted her attention. Did you hear that? The first lady of the Sun family is going to marry a human. I don't know if it's true or not. Don't talk about it. Be careful that the wall has ears. If it's true or not, I'll know. If it's not true, I'll have to eat and take it away. Does the first lady of Sun family marry a human? Cloud Dance smell speech facial expression immediately black half edge. How does she have kind of bad premonition? In the dragon race, a man with a little beauty is a curse. I heard the banter of Montmorillonite. Yunwu gave him a sharp look, threw down his chopsticks and walked to the people just now. Is it true or false that you just said that the first lady of Sun family will marry a human being? Cloud Dance in different way, while looking forward to is true, while looking forward to is false. Whose children are not big or small? One of the men looked at the Cloud Dance, cold look, although a little shocked, but still strong hold up the gas field, lest he was scared by a child, spread out to have no face to mix. I ask you if it's true or not. Cloud Dance eyes show a scarlet flame burning, the air around is suddenly cold. One of the more calm men glanced at Yunwu, picked up the cup and sipped the tea leisurely. Pa! The teacup broke in his hand and the tea poured all over him. A few men see this, it is Wan Leng. They could hardly feel her power, but they could use it quietly among them. This girl's strength is above them. I overheard the news from the servants of Sun family. Who knows if it's true or not? A cunning-looking man hastened to come round. Smell speech, Cloud Dance ponder for a moment, turn to leave, walk to Mengbai's side, the corner of the mouth raises a bad smile. Elder brother, you just that move is really handsome, those old guys immediately counseled. Looking at the gloomy old guys, Mengbai turned black and said to Cloud Dance, do you believe that I strangle you? It's a pity you're not my match. Cloud Dance is a pity. You. Mengbai looked at the cloud dancing, and his mouth twitched. After a long time, he said, forget it, anyway, those old guys are not my opponents. Yunwu is walking all the way to the challenge arena. If you guessed correctly, the Sun family should just be ready to leave now. Are you going to follow the Sun family all the way to see if the news is true? Mengbai followed the steps of Cloud Dance, and there was some worry in his words. No way. Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrows, the pace did not slow down. Okay, but you have to know that this is the dragon tribe, not in the upper bound. So what? Do you really don't understand or don't you pretend to understand? If there is any disturbance, it is dangerous to expose one's identity. So I chose a suitable identity to go. What identity? Thief. Cloud Dance deliberately pulled the sound of the old long. Mengbai stops and looks at the accelerated Cloud Dance with a sigh. It seems that she hasn't lost her mind because of the dragon's evil. Today, he knew that the only thing in the world that could make her lose her sense of propriety was probably Dragon Qingxie. I don't know if it's the blessing or misfortune of the dragon. If the man that the first lady of the Sun family is going to marry is really him, this woman will probably abolish him. There's a lot of excitement. The night is hazy, like gauze, covering the whole dragon clan. The two figures live on the treetops and look at the Sun family floating in the middle of the lake with deep eyes. I didn't expect that the Sun family had such a high position in the dragon family. Under the moonlight, Mengbai looked at the periphery of Sun's family and couldn't help sighing. A straight corridor leads to the Xuanshi gate in the middle of the lake. The corridor is made of top-grade jade. The Xuanshi family, located in the middle of the lake, is like a palace, especially over the mansion. There is a border within 100 meters, which is a very quiet space. You let the wind out, I'll go in. Yunwu can't wait to see the Sun family. Why? Before Mengbai finished speaking, he felt a strong wind passing over his face. Where is the shadow of Cloud Dance? Mengbai was speechless and muttered to himself, why do I let the wind go? In the night sky, a shadow like a ghost flashed by and sneaked into the Sun family. After entering the Sun family, Yunwu felt stunned. From the outside, the Sun family is only as big as an ordinary mansion, but how can you feel another space? The first feeling is big. The incomparably spacious space makes Yunwu feel that she is a grass on the ground at the moment, which is extremely inconspicuous. Not thinking much, she began to search for the whereabouts of Dragon Qingxie and Ancient Light. She thought that the space was too big, so she could only use the wind element. Looking for about a dozen rooms, I still didn't find the dragon's evil figure, let alone the ancient light. Yunwu sits on a stone bench in a courtyard, looks up at the sky, and thinks about finding someone to ask, Father, is this ancient light so divine? Suddenly, a steady and powerful voice broke the silence of the night. Yunwu suddenly looks back at the room behind him. It's dark. It's not hard to see that there are two figures standing in front of the window in the moonlight. The cloud dances the figure to sweep, hides in front of the window to listen to two people's dialogue. The power of the ancient divine world people sounds terrible. If you tame this power, you will be able to improve it more than you think. Another old, hoarse voice followed. Is it because the Dragon King can't tame this power that he gives it to others? Yunwu's eyes narrowed slightly. How can this power be tamed so easily? It is estimated that this year's dragon fight competition is to find a strong man of the dragon race and give him the remains to try to tame. It can be said that it kills two birds with one stone. Mr. Sun nodded, his forehead like a peak tightly wrinkled. This is a piece of iron. If you get it, you can't throw it away even if it's burned all over the body and ruined your family. Sun Qianling said with a bitter smile, then try your best to squeeze it. When the most frightening thing happens in the Dragon Palace, you will be free. After that, Sun Qianling turned and walked towards the door. He still had a box in his hand, which was the box of ancient light. While avoiding Sun Qianling's sight, Yunwu followed him until he walked into a wall. The wall is like a suction. Sun Qianling just touched it, and the whole person was sucked in. From the outside, the wall is still an ordinary wall, without any change. Yunwu had been squatting outside. After a while, Sun Qianling came out and the box disappeared. It seemed that he had put the things in it. After Sun Qianling left, Yunwu came to the wall and tried to reach out. Before she touched the wall, the whole person was sucked in. Go into the wall space of the cloud dance Leng for a while, looking at the space suffused with dark purple light. Some don't believe. So you came in. Isn't it that someone who comes here accidentally can be sucked in? I don't know if it's a secret or an idiot to choose this place to hide things. Cloud Dance probably swept the space. This space is only as big as the study. The things inside can be valuable, rare baby. Dragon Ball, Dragon Scale, Dragon Keel, all kinds of dragon people's martial arts books, animal training secret books, and a 50-100-year history book about the dragon people. Cloud Dance has put them into the space. Finally, a box containing ancient light was found in a humble place. Yunwoo opened the box, and a silver light lit up the space in an instant. The next second, she quickly covered the box, and her eyes flashed a light. It was really part of the ancient light. Put away the box. Yunwoo will put it away as soon as it is ready, and quickly walk out of the space. Just as she walked out of the space, her body suddenly froze, and a tall man stood in her way. For eyes are opposite, surprised or very surprised, Sun Qianling looked at the Cloud Dance. For a long time, he didn't respond. His expression froze in surprise, as if he never thought that a person would come out of the space. And Cloud Dance looked at Sun Qianling, and soon recovered to nature. Mouth a Yang, brother, your family's treasure really many, can let me eye-opener. Sun Qianling heard the speech and nodded stiffly. Cloud Dance eyes looked cunning point, a swept body disappeared in front of Sun Qianling. Somebody, get her for me. After a long time, a roar carried through the whole Sun family. Meng Bai, who was not in Sun's family, was shocked by the roar and muttered, I know that this woman doesn't cause any trouble. Fortunately, he had been prepared for a long time. He knew that the most powerful part of the Sun family was the blood net. By chance, he got to know the way to open the blood net. Otherwise, she would be waiting to spend the night in the imprisonment of the Sun family. Meng Bai takes out a dagger and a bottle, cuts his finger, drips blood in, and then turns around and sneaks into the Sun family. Yunwoo flies in the air and is about to plunder out of the Sun family, but is stopped in mid-air by a group of people hiding in the border. In order to avoid that attack, Yunwoo can only choose to return to the Sun family again. Who are you, breaking into here in the middle of the night? Sun Qianling looked at the Cloud Dance, his eyes were dark. Cloud Dance glanced at Sun Qianling and said sarcastically, I didn't expect that Sunshire family's defense ability was so poor. Girl, I'm afraid I just came to the Dragon Clan. I'm afraid I don't know that the place of the Dragon Clan is easy to get in and hard to get out. Sun Qianling looked at Yunwoo with sharp eyes and sharp tone. Her hands on her back were slightly clenched because of her words, and she could not bear the anger at the moment. Who on earth is she? She can enter the space that only he can enter. If that's all you can do, you can't believe it. Yunwoo glanced at the people who surrounded her. Her eyes were cold. The next second, the black flame sword appeared, and she made a few cuts in the air. Just when they were avoiding the powerful edge of the sword, she disappeared in the sight of the people. When the people stabilized, her figure had already disappeared in the sky. Looking at the missing Cloud Dance, they didn't chase it, but showed a strange smile. Just a moment later, purple figure appeared again in the sky, followed by her. From the sky there is a net, a blood net like blood is still flowing around. Each blood net is as thick as a finger, inside is crystal clear flowing blood, dozens of crisscross to form a blood net. Cloud Dance slightly frowning forehead landing, the corner of the mouth is also overflowing with bloodstains. Just now, the blood net suddenly appeared in mid-air, which caught her off guard. She wanted to use the space boundary to resist it, but she was killed by her own boundary. The power of the blood net was the most uncanny power she had ever seen, even the power of Shengguansheng was not as strong as it. At the moment when Yunwoo landed on the ground, the blood net followed her closely and controlled her inside. The pale moonlight reflected on Yunwoo through the blood net, like a red ghost. Suddenly, she felt so gloomy and terrible. Cloud Dance can clearly feel the power of the blood net, and the faint smell of blood makes her feel a little familiar. Come on, take her to the dungeon. Sun Qianling sneered, waved his hand, and everyone walked to Yunwoo. Wait! All of a sudden, a clear and loud woman's voice stopped those people's steps. They looked back and bowed their heads respectfully. Sun Qianyu winked at the crowd and motioned them to go down. They took a look at Sun Qianling and left with his consent. Again. Sun Qianling looks at Sun Qianyu with a slightly reproachful look. Sun Qianyu walked to Sun Qianling and said with a mysterious smile, "Brother, I just heard that someone has entered your secret room. I want to see who it is." Then she took back her eyes and went to Yunwu. She looked up and down, with the domineering manner of a young lady. "Brother, is she the one who broke into your secret room?" Sun Xianyu asked Zunxianling, after getting Zunxianling's affirmation, disdained the white cloud dance. One eye, is really more not pleasing to the eye. Cloud dance raises an imperceptible sneer at the corner of his mouth. The eldest lady of a family can really play. Is it I who let you see that? In the secret corner in the distance, Meng Bai pays attention to every move here. When he sees Sun Shi's brother and sister, his eyes are worried. They are not good stubbles. You don't have enough mischief. Hurry back. Sun Qianling toned sharp a few minutes, waved the bodyguard forward again, take away the cloud. Cloud Dance looked at them indifferently, and her eyes were a little impatient. They were all useless garbage conversations. She really didn't want to listen. Suddenly, the dark air around her lifted up and kept spinning, and the scope became larger and larger. The power of the evil phage to destroy everything gushed in an instant. The two forces intertwined in an instant and disappeared. The cloud dance stood in the middle, the green silk was flying, the look was indifferent, and the last second was still a picturesque appearance. The next second, it looks like a monster, like death. It is estimated that Sun Shi's brother and sister will never forget that scene. They look at the cloud dance eroded by the darkness, and look dull. Meng Bai in the distance is just like this. His eyes are shocked. They have known her for a long time. He has never seen her so terrible. Just when the evil bite is about to break the blood net, Yunwu suddenly feels that the evil bite in her body seems to have been impacted. She can't control it completely and starts to move randomly. At this time, Meng Bai, who just relaxed, saw this scene, looked tight, swept out of the blood net and took out the small bottle in his arms. Cloud Dance see Meng Bai, micro-frown, began to try to use the power to suppress the abnormal magic bite, but was repelled by the power of magic bite. Poof! Her breath was unsteady, and a mouthful of blood splashed on the blood net. Almost at the moment when the blood sprayed on the blood net stopped resisting, began to contract as if it had received some order, and finally turned into a pool of blood. This strange scene shocked the four people present. After a long time, Meng Bai recovered from the shock, pulled up the injured Cloud Dance and ran away. His voice was still in the air. I haven't shed blood yet. How can it be? Sun Qianling looks at the direction of Yunwu and Meng Bai's leaving, and his eyes are scarlet. He suddenly thinks of something and walks quickly into the space. When he came out, the bloodthirsty smell on his body was more gloomy and terrifying. Get her back at all costs. Sun Qianling roared, sharp and wise eyes full of red blood. All the rare treasures of the Xuanshi family are almost taken by her. It is because of those things that the Xuanshi family has a foothold in the dragon family. Now there is nothing left. Meet that woman again, he will certainly break her to pieces. In the silent night, the sound of knuckles reverberated. The dawn suddenly appeared, and a touch of morning glow appeared in the distant sky. After absorbing the effect of magic grass overnight, Yunwu's injury is now better, and the out-of-control power of magic bite in the body has completely subsided. Yunwu is a little puzzled. Last time, she clearly felt that magic bite was better controlled. How could she suddenly lose control at a critical moment? However, this time she took magic grass, it seemed that it was easier for magic bite to control than the last time, and she felt that it was completely for her own use, and she could feel that the power of magic bite was enhanced again. Although she is worried about the growth rate of magic bite, as long as it can be controlled, there is no need to worry about it. You wake up. Meng Bai glances at the wake-up Cloud Dance, and his eyes are suspicious. Cloud Dance tiny pick eyebrow, what's up? That kind of suspicious look made Yunwoo's good mood disappear in an instant. I didn't bleed last night. How could the blood net be lifted? He has been struggling about last night. The blood net was untied at the moment when she vomited blood, that is to say, her blood opened the blood net. She's aristocratic, too. Isn't she an ordinary woman with great strength? Where do you come from? I don't know. Yunwoo didn't understand what he said, so he stood up and walked out of the inn room. Standing in the corridor of the second floor inn, Yunwoo takes out the little warcraft from the space and puts it in the palm of his hand. It was this little guy who saved her last night. At the moment when she was breathing unsteadily and vomited blood, this little thing suddenly appeared in her chest and hit the blood net at a speed that no one found. At that time, it was bounced back by the blood net. Originally, she wanted to laugh that this little thing was too stupid, but who knew that the blood net was untied? But at the same time, she also smelled a familiar smell at the moment when the blood net was untied, but she didn't have time to confirm it. Meng Bai said that she had never seen him, but she smelled him. If it was him, how could she look at her life and death line without moving? Why don't you come out and see her? Yunwoo shakes her head. Maybe it's her illusion. Looking at the little warcraft in his hand, Yunwoo frowned slightly and murmured, "You said that your mother has lived for thousands of years, and her blood has dried up. How did you survive, How?" Little warcraft seems to be responding to her, lying in her palm, rubbing her palm, rubbing, there is no movement. Little thing. Yunwoo shook his hand. Nothing happened, How? The cloud dances to learn its call to roar. Still nothing. Listen carefully, the little thing breathes evenly and has fallen asleep in the palm of her hand. Yunwoo's face turned black. Was she looking for a comfortable place to sleep? Suddenly, she felt that her behavior of yelling and scaring her was very stupid. Maybe she thought it was her mother, and she slept more peacefully. Poof. Meng Bai, who had been standing at the door, couldn't help laughing. You talk to a beast, and I don't know if I think you are mentally ill. You're tuning into the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.